eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through? For you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for
over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear outweighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Fearless.
Hello there and welcome to this special edition Stevo solo tonight. Basically, this is going to be all about your elite FPL community team draft this Sunday. But what have we had on screen just a minute ago? That's right, Jason's little dance setup. As you can imagine, that's got absolutely nothing to do with me. That is all down to the hard work of Jason. In all seriousness, he came on my laptop, sorted everything out, and that's why we're able to get you guys now live on air prior to basically me just doing the old, right, we're live on air, let's just chat. I can now do what Jason does, which is quite simply, I can then go through the chat and see how many people are actually watching and speaking, rather than just it all just plodding along as I'm live and speaking and everything like that. The format worked, but now you lot, as you all know, get to engage with each other quicker. And yeah, we get the audience a bit higher at the moment as well. So yes, welcome everybody. So, like I said, this is the main talking point this evening is going to be about your elite FPL community team, which you lot are going to be entering into at 6th Goals Stephen Toomey's mini league, and I'll bring that up in a second. In fact, do you know what? I just realised something. I can bring that up right now. So this is the league that we've entered at the moment. Okay, so I at first originally thought that it would be a lot of YouTube content creators and various Twitter accounts and stuff. That was my basic understanding. However, at the moment, I apologise if you find it difficult to make out on screen. At the moment, there's only about 10 teams, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 teams in there, including us. So at the moment, it's at its early stages. What I can tell you though is that you guys are representing us, and Stephen is actually Stephen's just here. He is going to be doing a podcast about this. So you guys are representing us. So basically, what you choose to do with this elite FPL community team is completely up to you. It's got nothing to do with me. It's got nothing to do with Jason. It's got nothing to do with Dan. It's all down to us, basically. And what I can tell you is that I want to thank you lot for basically sending in the amount of Rate My Teams that you have done. So you don't need to do that anymore. Basically, you've sent in all the Rate My Teams. I've collated the data, and simply put, before you all start panicking and start saying we don't want this player, we don't want it. I know, okay, I know that. So calm yourself down, chill out. I'm going to explain. So basically, this here is the team of the most popular picks that you guys have chosen. So for anybody listening on audio, and what I will do is I'm going to advertise this right now, is that we are actually on audio only platforms as well. So we're not just doing YouTube anymore. So again, thanks to Jason, we are on Spotify, we are on SoundCloud, we are on iTunes now, and it's all thanks to Jason. So I'm going to read this out for anybody that does listen to audio. And I was actually if I'm honest with you, Jason, I know you're live in the Discord at the moment, but I was surprised at how many people have actually been listening on SoundCloud. I was shocked. Because ironically, I went on today to listen to last night's stream, and it hadn't uploaded yet, but that's not the point. And I was like, wow, that's a lot of people that have already listened through SoundCloud. So that's new information to me. I was quite surprised at that. But yeah, but this team up in front of you right now is the most popular picks that you guys have chosen. Here we go, Daily Llama. I've got the old book out again. So as you can see here, which you won't be able to, I'm fully aware of that, but if I'm going to put it as close to the camera as possible, there we are. That means absolutely nothing to you. I know no one actually gives a damn about it, but that there is basically all the information that I've collated together from approximately, I would say, about 15, 16 teams that have been sent in. Now, I'm sorry, but I have been advertising quite regularly through the Discord. I've been advertising on the podcast, and if anybody has the audacity to have a go at me and say, we can't be having that player, we should be doing this formation and stuff, I'm sorry, but we've given you enough notice and enough time. Okay, you can still, I will tell you this right now, if you want to send in what you think the elite FPL community team should look like and I preface this by saying, you have to have a 4-4-2 because we've already done the vote on that weeks ago. You chose a 4-4-2 formation, that's what you're going with. So a 4-4-2 formation and a set and forget goalkeeper. They are the two rules. Other than that, you can then go and pick a team. And what I want you to do is go in the Rate My Team and then send it into there, and then I'm just going to collate the data. But as it stands right now, this team of 15 here right now is the most popular picks. When it comes to goalkeepers, to be honest, because what we want to do on Sunday, so on Sunday we are going to be doing a live pick. And we're going to be doing some various votes and stuff. And Jason is going to be putting up some polls in the Discord. Okay? He's going to put up in the Discord. And you guys are going to vote on the players that you want. It's going to be pretty simple format, to be honest with you. That's why I'm doing this. To make it as easy as possible. Because we're not going to be sat here for flaming 4 or 5 hours deciding whether we choose Tielemans or Perez. Whether we choose Sterling or Salah. Whether we choose Laporte or Zinchenko. It is not happening whatsoever. We're going to be doing it live with the most simplest format possible where you guys get to vote on the Discord and you'll be able to pretty much choose what it is. And if you don't vote, you don't vote. It's your fault. It's got nothing to do with me. It's got nothing to do with Jason. It's down to you guys. This team is about you guys. Okay? Now, goalkeeper-wise, basically, Ryan and Button Button especially, has received the most votes when it comes to like your second goalkeeper. The guy behind that is Matt Ryan. And then we've got a bunch of other goalkeepers which have basically received one vote each in Edison, Lloris, Stecklenburg. As your main goalkeeper, I apologise. As your main goalkeeper, Edison, Lloris, Pope, Pickford, they've basically all received either 1 vote or 2 votes each, whereas Matt Ryan has received 6. Defender-wise, okay, the most popular picks outside of the team in front of you right now is Coleman, Robertson, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, okay, and Kyle Walker-Peters. So what will happen on Sunday as this is what will simply happen on Sunday. Let's just take the defenders as an example. So you've got all week to be sending in your elite FPL community teams, okay, right? And I'm going to collate the data, and then basically, for example, Jason will put up a vote, and it will say, who do you want in defence? And he'll have the most popular picks that you sent in, and then you just vote. We are going to shorten it down a bit. It's not going to be like 20 different flaming players. It's going to be like between 6 and 8 players. What I will say is that someone like Martin Kelly is not going to be in that poll because, to be honest with you, every single team that's been sent in has chosen Martin Kelly. Okay? It's the same in midfielder. Everybody's chosen the 4.5 of Den Donker, so there's no point in having him in there. We want to be just choosing the main 11 that you're choosing from. Okay? Because like I said, we're going to be here all night otherwise deciding that specific team itself. So we want to make it, like I said, as simple as possible. What I do want to say as well is that please don't send in elite FPL community teams and trying to be clever and be like, oh, I'm going to send in like 20 different versions, but it has Gomez in of Liverpool. Please don't do that because I just will not be counting your team whatsoever. I just want to choose people that haven't done it at all. Send in your elite FPL community team what you feel is the best 4-4-2 formation, and I want to make it as realistic as possible. So, like I said, so I can collate the data. Regarding midfielder-wise, basically outside those four or five, including those 5, including Den Donker, the most popular picks are Perez and Kevin De Bruyne. They're pretty much every single team that keeps coming in. Is this team up in midfielder-wise? Is this team up right now, along with Perez and Kevin De Bruyne? When we move on to the strikers, basically it's King and Wesley. Wilson and Wesley. Okay, and then the most popular picks out of them two are Josh King, Harry Kane, and that's it. So pretty much, like I said, this Elite FPL community team is shaping up to be looking like this, to be honest with you. But like I said, this Sunday afternoon we are going to be doing this draft live, where you guys get to vote on who you want in this specific Elite FPL team for you guys. John Harris, who joined us live last night, he asked a very, very simple question. How are you going to be deciding captaincy and poll and transfers? Simple answer is we're doing it by polls. We will announce everything through the Discord, through Twitter, and what will happen is that it'll be something along the lines of, do you want to make a transfer this week? Yes or no? If you say no, we don't do a transfer. It's quite simple. If you say yes, then we go down the route of, who do you want to transfer out? Is it a midfielder, a defender, or a striker? And then you get the idea. Okay, it's a very simple format. I'm sure we're complicating it more than it needs to be. Then obviously captaincy wise, let's be brutally honest here. If someone has the audacity to complain that in the poll that Jason makes up, that for instance in game week 1 we do not include Digne in the captaincy poll, you're banned. We're going to kick you from the Discord group, because I don't want any of this nonsense. Okay, people complaining about really petty things. We want to make this as fun and as simple as possible. And you know what? With the amount of knowledge that you guys have for this game, it is going to be fascinating to see how far actually this ends up in the rankings overall. It would be absolutely fascinating. So yeah, tonight's podcast is going to be predominantly talking about not necessarily this team per se, but I want to kind of focus around this. I will do some live rate my teams as well. I'll have a chat with the guys. I know today that there has been a hell of a lot of activity in that Discord group. I know earlier on, FPL Booner, he messaged me earlier, like there was about what seemed like 500 people in the waiting room. There wasn't, obviously, but even now, right now, in the Hangout section, there is, okay, it's gone down, but there was about 8 or 9 people just chatting. It was quite extraordinary, really. It was amazing that you guys were having such an enjoyable conversation with each other. That's about as simple as it gets, really. And this is what the Discord is all about. For anybody who's wondering, that's watching this and that's brand new to the show, the Discord is basically a community that, let's be honest here, Jason, FPL Booner and Daily Llama run. And it's a community all built about positivity, about getting the community together to send in your teams, to talk all things fantasy football, to give you the most constructive criticism or giving you the most positive feedback that we want to give you. We're not here to tell you that within reason. I mean, we're not going to lie. Me and Jason have seen some, shall we say, questionable teams that have been sent in to us live on air. But we've had a conversation, we find out the reasonings as to why you've chosen these particular players, and that's what makes the show fun. That's why, by the way, anybody in chat that is going to be telling myself, I don't know about Jason and Dan, but certainly myself, I only want to do a rate my team if you're willing to come on air. Unless it's like some major circumstances where you can't actually come on air, and I feel that, I'll be happy to review your team. I will literally only do rate my teams for people that are willing to come live on air. And like I said, the Discord link is in the description. I'm sure that anybody that's watching this that has the link will be more than happy to put it up in the live chat, so you can click on the link there. But like I said, everything that's going to be happening regarding this Elite FPL community is going to be done through the Discord first. In fact, it will only be done through the Discord, to be completely honest with you. Obviously, we'll be announcing things through Twitter. We'll also be announcing things through the actual live stream itself. But I'm excited for this team. I genuinely am. I'm looking forward to it. Jason yesterday also announced the fact that we're going to be running this podcast alongside a a predictor game, Tap Sport. Again, I'm sure Jason's there live in chat now and be able to set up a link in the description. But yeah, next season when we do the preview show, we highly recommend that you get involved and take part in the Tap Sport app or website. And basically, you get to predict the games and maybe win money. It's quite simple, really. But Jason did make a video on our YouTube channel for this specifically. And it was absolutely fantastic. It gives you all information required. Jason is in chat now. He's also in the Discord group. So if you want to ask him any questions, he's more up to date with it than me. But I know there's been quite a few people that have already signed up with it. And basically, they are enjoying how simple it is. But what I will basically tell you in the most simplest terminologies is this. You predict the outcomes of Premier League games. And if you do really well, you win money. That's the basic outcomes. But again, all information, please go to our Discord group or just ask Jason live right now as we speak. Right then, before I get to the chat, there's been some very, very interesting transfer news, hasn't there, everybody? And let's kick off with the fact that Man United look like they've signed Harry Maguire. Yes, Harry Maguire looks like he's holding talks with Ed Woodward, I believe. And of course, Harry Maguire, everybody keeps banging on about the fact that if he comes to United, Man United aren't going to concede a goal for the whole of the season. And that's why Aaron Wan-Bissaka looks like one of the best choices. In fact, funny enough, interestingly, just to let you know, for the Elite FPL community team, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is only one vote behind Van Dijk. That's how popular Aaron Wan-Bissaka has risen so far in what it appears to be within the FPL community, well, the Elite FPL community anyway. But yes, where is Leicester? There it is. So yeah, Harry Maguire, he's 5.5. Looks like he's going to be on his way to Man United. It looks like he's going to be about 72 million, which is absolutely incredible. But there we are. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be completed within the next week, I'd like to think. So what are your thoughts, chat, on Harry Maguire joining United? Does it mean that David De Gea becomes an option now in goal? We all know his prowess, his save points potential. Does it make Aaron Wan-Bissaka an even more appealing option for 5 point? Both are going to be 5.5. We all know United's fixtures, they're not too bad. And maybe now that they've got this solid English defender back there, shoring things up, you know, let's just quickly check their fixtures. We're talking Chelsea at home. We all know this. Wolves away. Crystal Palace, Southampton, Leicester, West Ham, etc., etc. So yeah, very, very interesting times for United. It sounds ridiculous saying that for a top 4 club or whatever, top 6 club minimum at least, you know. So yeah, very, very interesting signing there. Of course, they've also apparently agreed terms with the Lazio midfielder Milinkovic-Savic. So I'm not going to proclaim to know anything about him, but anybody in chat wanna let me know what this Milinkovic is like? Please let me know. But it looks like Man United have agreed to sign him. Bournemouth have signed Huddersfield's Billing for 15 million. So obviously Philip Billing, the hero of the 4.5 midfielders from last season, well now he's joined Bournemouth. Obviously he's not going to be an option. No one's going to be buying him in. But could he be a 4.5 option for you guys? Let me know in chat. Let me know. Pepe to Arsenal from Lille. Looks like it's going to get done in the next few days. So obviously the Zaha move looks like they're not interested in him anymore. Well, they've completely lost all interest, full stop. So Pepe looks like he's on his way to Arsenal. Is it a good move? I know nothing about him. I might do what I usually do, which is go on whoscored.com and simply do up some statistics, basic statistics, and find out how well he did. But we'll do that later. I don't need to specifically do it now. And the latest news, interestingly, is with Everton and Crystal Palace regarding Wilfried Zaha. Everton have put in a £55 million bid, but with no players to go with that. But Crystal Palace are looking to get a outright payment of 60 million. They're wanting 60 million because it looks like basically, what do you call it? Oh no, typical. It looks like, sorry, I'm just on the older Who Scored thing, and surprise, surprise, they've now updated everything, so I now can't access last year's information. Brilliant. So I'm gonna have to go on Wikipedia instead. But yeah, so Zaha has they've approached Zaha or whatever, and yeah, it looks like Crystal Palace are wanting 60 million up front, but Everton don't really want to be spending 60 million all in one go. They'd rather, and basically Crystal Palace aren't happy with the way Everton want to pay for him. So yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting regarding what happens with there. But a lot of people are basically saying that this Zaha at Everton could be an absolute steal, and for 7 million, you know, it sounds pretty promising. So I've just got up Pepe's stats basically, and again, I'm not going to proclaim to know much about him, but I'm personally not that impressed. He was at Orleans last year. He made 29 appearances and scored 7 goals. When he was at Angers, he made 40 appearances and only scored 3 goals. Again, he's 25 years old. I'm looking at this. Oh, and at Lille. Oh, at Lille, he's actually done really well, to be fair. 74 appearances, 35 goals. I didn't actually see that bit. I was being a complete fool. Wow. Now that isn't... Okay, there we are. There's your live reaction there. That is actually very impressive. So maybe in an attacking Arsenal lineup, we could be on for having a quality player here. Who knows? Right then. So, let's do a Jason. Let's annoy Jason. Let's stick the fan on. There we are. That's going to annoy him now with his £3,000 headphones, but what a shame. But no, in all seriousness, let's go and go in the chat and let's find out what on earth is going on with you guys, and let's speak and find out who's in. Jason Costa, I know you've been here since the beginning. Welcome to the stream. Nasty Balls, welcome there. Simon Anderson, Resi Dezel, VAR, welcome to the stream. Hello there. Like I said, what are you thinking about this Elite FPL community team right now? Michael Swedlin, welcome. Jason, we've already mentioned Elite FPL Jason, of course. Any questions for Elite FPL Jason? By all means, you get in there and get involved and ask away. Shaban telling everybody, get in that Discord, get chatting, get talking. G Wiz, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you there. FIFA Tom, loving the intro music. There we are, Jason. Absolutely loving life there. Alice Eliasson. Is this a female that's watching our show? My goodness, maybe Chloe from work will be loving life. She now has a friend to join in with watching this show. But no, welcome to the stream. I don't recognise the name, so if you are new to the show, welcome. Andy Bick here. Yep, here we go again, lads. I couldn't agree more with you. Rahul Roy, welcome to the stream, my friend. Who else is in chat? Here we go. Jason Costa making a Jason to Jason. You need to teach Steve-O this thing about getting us hyped up before we go live. Yep, he's already told me this. He has told me that let's get live before we actually go on air, and this is what we all get basically. In fact, there we are, Jason. Oh, damn, brilliant. There we go. My optimism has now shrunk. Brilliant. Actually, this Alice is actually Vincent from Sweden. He's using his girlfriend's YouTube account. Brilliant. Khalid El Balou, welcome to the show there. One Rovers vlogs, sorry, welcome to the stream. Nice to have you all in chat. Any questions for me? No, absolutely nothing. DC, Stevo, you are a god. I'm wondering if that's Marlon in disguise. I wonder. Cameron Rawcliffe, aka FPL Kid, welcome to the stream. John Harris is here, of course. Well done. Rad Robbie. I could go on and on. Dereco, welcome. One Life Soccer. And do you know what? I could go going on and on, but this is a... Here we go, Jason. I'm going to test it for you. What do people in chat think about this? This is your voice. Okay, so it's the... Elite FPL Your Voice or Your Voice Elite FPL. I'm probably butchering the way Jason wants me to say it or anything, but like I said, this is just the pre-season. We're coming up with all these brand new ideas. I say brand new ideas, just various ideas about what's going on with the Elite FPL, and basically we want to get everything sorted for the start of the season. And we're just airing and ironing out all the little nitpicks here and there. Certainly when it comes to the Discord itself, getting people live on air, we want to air all issues that we may have and work out exactly what's best when it comes to having a member of the audience come live on air. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw the chat all the way down to the bottom there. That can go down there. Let's go on Discord. I know there's somebody in the waiting room. Let's get I know Tom FPL's been in there for a while. I'm wondering though if Tom has posted a Rate My Team. I mean, you were on there yesterday. I mean, I don't know how much how many drafts you were doing, my friend, but it's gonna. What I will tell everybody that's thinking of coming onto the Discord chat / coming live on air is this: please make sure that you unmute your mic, but more importantly, please make sure that you mute the stream. Okay, that's the major thing. Make sure you mute your stream. And then once you've muted your stream, I ain't going to get feedback. The people ain't listening are going to be hearing a feedback. And away we go, basically. So, Tom, FPL, we will get you live on air. I just need to put my headphones in so I can actually hear you. There we are, straight away. Not doing what I want to do. And we'll get you live on air. So, Tom, you're live on Elite FPL, Your Voice. Let's hear it.
Hello.
Good evening.
You're right, Steve-O.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on this Elite FPL community team so far? The most popular picks that have been chosen by you guys.
Can we just get Wesley out?
Is that is that the bias coming from being a Birmingham fan?
What do you mean? Yeah. Nah, Chadham's in.
Because obviously you were very famous for saying your distaste towards Villa, but more importantly, you said a very amusing quote about the fact that if McGinn scored 3 hat-tricks in a row, a hat-trick of hat-tricks, you still wouldn't even consider bringing him in. But no, in all seriousness, what are you thinking about this this Elite FPL community team?
I'm not sure about the double Liverpool defence.
Have you actually actually made your own Elite FPL community team?
Not really.
Well, there we are. There we are.
But looking at it,
before you continue, this is my point, everybody. So Tom's come out with a very, very valid discussion point here about the fact that he doesn't like the fact that we got double Liverpool defence. But Tom's just admitted live on air that he hasn't made an Elite FPL community team. Well, how many more people are out there like Tom that doesn't like Liverpool defence and hasn't made a community FPL team? I can only go on the data that has been sent in. So please, for anybody listening that doesn't like the team up in front of you, like yourself, Tom, please just take a few minutes to what you think would be the best Elite FPL community team based on a 4-4-2 formation and a set and forget goalkeeper. But yes, sorry, Tom, take it away. You don't like the double Liverpool defence. Why?
well, as everyone's saying, if they don't keep that clean sheet against Norwich, then that point's lost straight off.
But that's just one game. You're not.
Yeah, but based off pre-season, like they haven't been playing like easy teams, and they've been conceding quite a lot. So who's to say Norwich can't put 2-3 past them?
Wow, everybody, what do you think on that statement straight away? Norwich potentially putting 2 or 3 past Liverpool in game week 1. I'd be finding that hilarious, Tom, if I'm honest with you. But,
I would as well.
I mean, I do partially agree with you, if I'm honest with you. I think that there's been a few pre-season matches where actually we've had the main bulk of the defence in Van Dijk, Alexander-Arnold and Robertson. It's probably 2 or 3 games that they played together. They've been conceding goals. This genuinely does concern you, does it?
Yeah, I know. I know some of them, like Mignolet's been in goal and Matt Allison, but still, they shouldn't be conceding that many shots. Like having that many chances to score.
I mean, when it comes to the draft picks, well, the team selection on Sunday, what I can tell you is that the only reason why Tielemans is in this specific team is because, as it stands right now, it's the only way I could fit a £100 million budget, because you'll be pleased to know...
How much is it?
Tielemans is 6.5, but the thing is that actually Kevin De Bruyne is the... behind these 4 is the most... behind Salah, Sterling, Fraser and Dendoncker, Kevin De Bruyne is the most popular pick, but I can't fit him in the £100 million budget. So then it's just a case of when we go live on air, we have to then have a genuine discussion about, okay, do we downgrade defenders? Do we downgrade maybe Wilson, Wesley, whatever to fit in Kevin De Bruyne? Or do people just say, I want to get rid of Kevin De Bruyne full stop? I mean, what are your thoughts on having Kevin De Bruyne in the team but then having to downgrade a premium defender or maybe Wilson?
I mean, looking at it, if there's 3 million need to be made, Van Dijk down to a Gomez or a Matip, that's 1 mil. Laporte down to a Kyle Walker, that's another £500,000.
Or even
Coleman.
Or even Zinchenko, actually. That's
Or
£1 million.
Zinchenko, yeah. Because if you took out Van Dijk, Laporte, Digne, put in Zinchenko, that's 3 million. They're still going to get the same clean sheet point. But you're bringing in two full-backs and a centre-back instead of 2 centre-backs and 1 full-back. And you can have De Bruyne, or it's Wilson down to King, which might not be a bad idea.
Yeah. Are you thinking logically in the sense of, like, when it comes to Wesley, and in all seriousness, taking your club bias aside, do you think that Wesley is actually a good option with the fixtures that they've got? I know FPL Booner, I know Kevin, aka Statman, is they seem to be big advocates of Wesley with Aston Villa's fixtures coming up. What are your thoughts on Aston Villa's fixtures / Wesley in general?
I mean, like, looking at their fixtures, they look quite easy, to be fair. But, like, say downgrade him to, I don't know, who is there for 5.5 up front, or just get someone that's, like, guaranteed. Well, I know Wesley's going to be guaranteed, but I reckon someone might be able to outscore. I know, like, Villa have played, like, Wolves all and beat them 5-1 or whatever. But same end of the day, it's Walsall. It's not like your Liverpool's, your Man City's, even Tottenham's first game.
So I've just kind of tried to do a mini little transfer here regarding trying to fit in Kevin De Bruyne, which is, like I said, the 5th most voted player for this Elite FPL community team, which has been sent in. And on screen right now, I've only got 5 million.
I've got it up.
And remember as well, is that there's only so many defenders that we can choose from when it comes to, in fact, looking at this right now, the only defender at 5 million that I could get in, which has got, well, basically there's been in three teams, is this guy here, which is Kyle Walker-Peters. He's the only one which, for 5 million, I could fit in right now. So...
See, as like Boona said, if like Aurier's playing or not? Because Aurier's 5.5. No, wait, Aurier's 5 as well. So it's whoever starts out of them too. That's quite a good idea.
People in chat, what are you thinking about this simple idea of what Tom said about if rather than having Tielemans, we get in another premium midfielder in De Bruyne, but it means sacrificing your defence? Let me know in chat, and we'll find out what you guys are thinking. So, just a quick question, Tom, on the transfer news today of Harry Maguire to United. Is this a tempting option for you now to invest in Man United defence?
Really, I don't really trust their defence. I know, like, was it 17, 18? They kept like 18 clean sheets or something. But last season they only kept like 6. And I mean, looking at their early fixtures, if I can find them, that is, they look alright. They're not promising by any means. But after Chelsea, they've got Wolves, and then 2 easier games, and then Leicester, West, Arsenal, Newcastle, Liverpool all in a row. I don't think they'll keep many clean sheets out of that.
Yeah. That's. I think Man United are a bit like Chelsea, really. Even though they are a top 6 team, you feel that basically they need to kind of prove. Simply put, they need to prove that they're defensively sound, so to speak. I find it quite.
Got Kepa in goal.
What are your a lot of people?
Have you found my team?
What a lot of people are saying in chat. Before we look at that, what a lot of people are saying in chat is that they'd actually have Perez ahead of Tielemans and Kevin De Bruyne. Now, again, I'm going to state this point.
Yeah.
If everybody that's watching this that hasn't submitted a Elite FPL community team, and you're wanting specific players in there, just basically send your team in like people are now, and in the Rate My Team, and highlight it being an Elite FPL community team, and I will just total up everything and we will be able to vote for it at the moment. But Perez, just to let everybody know, is the 6th favourite midfielder behind Sterling, Fraser, Dendoncker, Salah and Kevin De Bruyne. So in fact he's joint with Tielemans. So both Tielemans and Perez have both received 5 votes each. So yes. So you said you posted your team up in the Rate My Team. Do you know approximately when? Because
I'm just scrolling back through. It was about 4.
Oh, great. If you repost it again, it'd be a lot more easy.
Half 4.
Yeah, if you post, I can't scroll up. If you repost it, if it's possible, are you able to repost? Yeah, cool. You repost it. Yeah,
just give me a second.
So yeah, people's thoughts in chat. So let's just find it quickly while Tom's trying to find out his team there and everything. Oh, by the way, everybody, we welcome Emilian to the stream. A brand new. What do you call it? A brand new viewer, basically, watching the stream. This is the first time they're watching the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. Normally, like I said, it's 3 of us, myself, Dan and Jason, but we are doing kind of like almost like, as FPL Boona calls me, a marathon man. I've been doing a live stream. Elite FPL have been doing a live stream every day, but basically me. So yeah, it's one of those where I feel that I've completely lost my train of thought now. What the hell I was talking about? But yeah, what are your thoughts, chat, on this Elite FPL team? I suppose is what I'm looking for. So Tom's finally posted his team up on chat. In the Rate My Team. We will bring it up on screen right now. I need to close everything down, of course. So let's bring Tom's team up. Brilliant. Oh, there we are. That's why. So it should be up on screen now, and that's an interesting team. No, it's not up on screen. What's going on here? That's a bit strange. Right, I don't know why it's not up on team on screen at the moment. I really don't understand why, because I know for a fact that's very, very odd. Okay, well, it's not up on screen at the moment, but what I can say is I can read it out at the moment, Tom, which is Kepa in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Coleman and Taylor. You're going with a 3-4-3 formation in Lucas Moura, Zaha, Sterling and Fraser in your midfield. A front three of Haller, or Haller, how do you want to pronounce it? Someone said he's French. I can't be bothered to pronounce it in a French accent, but let's just call him Haller. Kane and Wilson up front. So yeah, Tom, I know you've been doing 20,000 different drafts. What's made you come up with this particular one? Oh, you've left the chat. Let's bring him in again. Tom, you left the chat.
Yeah, I don't know what happened when I went on.
It doesn't matter. You made quite a lot of drafts and everything. So what is your feelings on this 4-3-3 then?
Well, I'm happy with the attack and the midfield. Yeah, so I'm happy with a lot of it, and I've got Taylor and Balbuena to with throughout the season.
Yeah, so I mean, you're happy with the two heavy hitters in Kane and Sterling, then I take it. This you're one of these people which is worried about Salah being a bit, not up for it, shall we say? That's even actually based on your own eye test / evidence, based on the fact that in his last game for Egypt he just didn't look at it.
Yeah, I think. Like, I've got Zaha, who played in the Cup and AFCON, but I feel like he's had... I think they got knocked out earlier than, or at the same time as Egypt. But I reckon he'll do a bit better than Salah coming back.
We got Jason in the chat right now. Hello, Jason. Welcome to the stream. This is co-host Jason. You would have seen him last night on our stream. How's it going, mate?
Hello, Steve-O. Yeah, I just joined because I see that you're having some issues bringing up Discord. I just wanted to help you out.
Yep, so, go for it. This is.
If you right-click the actual scene or the object, you can then click on Properties.
Is this on OBS?
On window, yeah, in OBS, and then you should be able to just find the window capture of Discord.
Yeah. And
just drag it down. You see it? So if you go to right-click the Discord properties, and then it says window, click on window, the box next to it, and then scroll down and pick on discord.exe, select that, and then OK, and then it should work.
It's already there. It's already actually there.
Is it? Have you got the eye symbol activated on it?
The eye symbol.
The view symbol.
Are you on about in the actual OBS thing?
The actual.
Yeah. It's all there. It's all there, ready and waiting. Typical, isn't it? Yeah. So unfortunately, I have no idea why. Oh, there it is. It's for whatever reason. There we are. It's magic. I have no idea what's happened there, but I can only apologise for this. Impromptu moment with Jason, but everything seems to now be working, so thank you, Jason, for that quick tech help regarding whatever you did, because that is Tom's team, everybody. What do you think of this team, Jason?
Let me have a quick look at it. Yeah, so I only joined to just give you help with that, but hey chat, how's it going? So Tom's team is, let's have a look. Yeah, so very quickly, he's got Alier, I think that's how you say his name, Alier. It's Kane. Wilson's got a Kane. It's a Kane selection without Salah, isn't it? So it's that old headache of do you have Kane or do you have Salah? Because I don't think you can have both in the team with Sterling in it. So yeah, I think you spread the funds around a little bit. It's gone one Liverpool. I wonder if that's because of the reactions what happened the other evening. Coleman, I don't know if I want to go with Everton defenders myself. I mean that team just needs Wan-Bissaka in it. That's that. Yeah,
I mean,
I'm just gonna.
I do have 1.5 million left, so
I'd
I
be
could
getting
easily drop
Wan-Bissaka.
Taylor. I'll probably drop Taylor out of him and Balbuena and then Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, I mean, if Maguire is confirmed at United, you really want to be getting in Wan-Bissaka. Guys watching, I think you're going to be missing out on some really good results for United to start the season. I think there'll be a lot of clean sheets, and Wan-Bissaka is going to attracting those bonus points just because he's just so good at tackling and intercepting.
Because I'm new, what do you exactly get the bonus point?
All right, so basically bonus points for defenders is like interceptions, tackles, clearances, things like that. But not only that, he's going to be bombing forward down the right hand side. So potentially assists. And it's just like crosses into the box, things like that. They all get added up.
Brilliant. So,
no worries.
Cheers, Jason. While we've got you on air, can you tell us your thoughts on this Maguire signing?
Literally, I'm not even gonna. I'm not jinxing it. I'm not jinxing it. So, it'd be great if it does happen. If it happens, then United will be a whole different outfit, I think, this season. I really do think that they needed at least one quality centre back. Smalling and Jones just don't cut it for me. And I think that Lindelof and Maguire would be an amazing partnership, and I look forward to it if it happens.
And
what does...
I was going to say, what effect then do you think this will have on the Man United defence? Do you think this will be a must-have, or do you think just leave it as a wait and see, or do you really think get on Aaron Wan-Bissaka now? I
think people would laugh at me if I said that there'll be a must-have, because obviously everyone kind of looks at United for the spyglass of last season. Obviously, after the honeymoon period of Solskjaer taking over in Christmas period, there was a great series of results, but then it kind of declined. Two-thirds towards the end of the season, they kind of went downhill. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's a must-have. I just think that it's a real strong consideration for most people. I think with the actual the money that's there. I mean, we're not talking 6-7 million players. We're talking 5.5 for a team that's going to finish. You'd imagine is going to comfortably finish in the top 6. I think they've got a good chance of finishing the top 4. Yeah. VAR in chat saying I'm a United fan. So yeah, I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic about United's defence if this is true and it's going to happen.
Do you think that because of this, now this pretty much it looks like it's all done? Do you think that David De Gea, like I mentioned earlier, becomes actually a genuine option as a set and forget goalkeeper?
I mean, absolutely. Why not? Like literally, the guy is. I still rate him as one of the best in the world. He had Smalling and Jones in front of him for the large portion in the last year, who was scoring against him as well. It's just like I just think that you would be really naive and ignorant to dismiss De Gea this season if Maguire comes to United, because I think there's just so much potential in having him in as a set and forget.
What I find really interesting about doing these shows every single day is that you think that you're going to get bored, but there's always something new to talk about. And what do you think of this Pepe basically officially joining Arsenal virtually? Do you think it's going to add even more options for their attack, or do you just still think, nope, just stick to Aubameyang and yeah?
Well, like we talk about signings, about Arsenal and stuff. I mean, we're signing. Well, it looks like we're going to be signing Maguire, but that's the sort of player that Arsenal need. Like, I'm not really that kind of hung up on Arsenal. I mean, in terms of attacking options, we have Aubameyang, but Pepe is a great threat. He'll be great down the wing, and I think Arsenal will benefit from him. But I just think they're prioritising their money in the wrong positions at the moment, and it's great because obviously I don't want to see Arsenal finishing above United. But Pepe, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he comes in at, and I'll be excited. I mean, it's still a case of just waiting and seeing, though. And
yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Are you wanting to stay around, Jason, or are you wanting just to sit back, relax, and just enjoy the stream?
Well, if it's all right, I'll sit back a little bit. I'll stay muted and then perhaps join you again a bit later on. I've got a few things going on with the little one.
It's not an issue at all. This is your podcast.
I know. I know that Buna was eager to come in and help.
Brilliant. Cool. Okay. No worries at all. Cheers, Jason. What we'll do next is we'll just quickly bring on some of the chat conversations going on here before we bring on our next caller. In fact, there's just so much chat going on here. FPL Defender asking a very interesting one. Has everybody started following the Liverpool triple defence train? Yeah, I know we had Davey FPL on last night, and simply put, he said that everybody should just calm down. Don't worry about it. It's blimey. Sorry, I've just checked how long we've been going for. Wow. This could be going on for 4 hours. So yeah, he said, do not worry, it's pre-season. Liverpool next season, along with Man City, will be two of the best defences going. You just heard Jason's thoughts there regarding Man United. He thinks that with Harry Maguire signing, it looks like they're going to be defensively sound now, and maybe David De Gea could be that set and forget goalkeeper that we're all looking for. Maybe for people that are sending in rate my elite FPL teams, then maybe he could become a more popular pick. It's unlikely, but yeah, just a quick one. The whole idea of this stream tonight is mainly discussing the FPL community team that you guys have basically chosen to represent the Elite FPL podcast. All you need to do if you want to kind of get your vote in, if you haven't participated already, is, and this is what I'm asking people like Tom just now, if you haven't entered a community, Elite FPL community team that you think best represents a 4-4-2 formation and a set and forget goalkeeper, just simply make up your 15-man squad, send it into the Rate My Team. I'll collate all the data, and we will be able to then do a easier live stream on Sunday, choosing and confirming what your specific team will be. But what we'll do is we'll bring on FPL Buna, and I'll also, at the same time, here we go, I'll bring on Dereco as well. So FPL Buna, you are live on Elite FPL Your Voice. How's it all going, my friend? Have you done your 20th draft today alone? Hello, Buna. You are live on. I don't even think. Oh, there is.
Sorry, mate. You're really cracking up on mine. Let me try and move to another room. Bear with me.
It's all right. We'll bring on Dereco. Dereco, you are live on Elite FPL Your Voice. I'm going to get that right, Jason. What do people think of that? Do you like Elite FPL Your Voice or Your Voice Elite FPL? Let us know in chat. But Dereco, you're live on Elite FPL Radio. Mate. Good evening, my friend. What are your thoughts on this Elite FPL community team?
Steve, you're cutting out for me, mate.
Yeah, and me.
Yeah. Yes.
That's why I need the fan on. Jason's told me to put a book and everything in between the fan and everything, but unfortunately, in fact, interestingly enough, Jason's...
Hi Steve, are you right, mate? You're cutting out. I didn't get most of that, but I'm guessing you said hi. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm all good. I was just asking what you think about this Elite FPL community team live up on screen right now.
Okay, I see. Yeah, just like, I'm not really into it. I'm gonna let the rest of the community do that because I don't feel like I have some like hidden knowledge that I can give to help you guys. So yeah, it's good. It is what it is. I like it. It's good.
So when it comes to next season, really, you're only going to be really concentrating on your own team. You're not really fussed about... Well, I'm not suggesting for 1 minute you will not be participating in the voting system, but what my point being is that you're mainly going to be just focusing on your own team for obvious reasons, and you're not really too fussed about this specific team per se. You see, Jason...
Yeah, you're cutting out a lot, sorry, Steve, but I think I got what you're saying. Yeah, I'm happy to contribute in the polls and stuff when it starts, but just in terms of the starting team, I'll let everyone else decide that, and then obviously I'll contribute in the polls. But yeah, my main concern right now is on my own team because there's so much to do, so much decisions to make. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
I'll leave it there. Yeah.
what I was thinking is that have you actually posted a rate my team in the Discord at all? Or?
What my rate my team or for the community?
No, your specific team. I'm just wondering if you've actually put it up recently.
I just put one up now, literally a couple minutes ago. If you want to.
Yep, I've got it up here right now. So
Yeah.
let's all hopefully this will all go swimmingly. Let's get rid of that. Let's bring up that. Done. Right, so you're going with a 4-5-1 formation. Basically, for anybody on audio, we're going with Angus Gunn in goal, Van Dijk, Alexander-Arnold, Zinchenko, Wan-Bissaka, Lucas Moura, Fraser, Sterling, Salah, Barkley. Interesting. And Jota. And then on the bench, we're going with, which is good, which is Emerson, and then Greenwood, and then Keita. So I know you're a Chelsea fan. Immediately, I'm thinking, why Barkley?
So he's one of. So I want a couple differential / gut picks in my team, yeah, to help me try stand out next season. Barkley, I've watched him pre-season. I just love he's looked so good, just based on eye test, and he's scored a couple goals. Should have got a couple assists as well. Just they haven't been put away. I really like him in that number 10 position. And also, I was looking, when he played in that number 10 position for Everton, he got quite a lot of points. In 16-17 and 15-16 season, he got 144 points, 158 points. So if you can get anywhere near that this season at 6 mil, playing in that number 10 role, that'll be fantastic. The only thing I'm worried about is Mason Mount taking his spot. Although I think Barkley will start the season just because of that extra experience, and I think Mason Mount will grow into the team slowly.
I was gonna say actually, what are your thoughts on Mason Mount?
Yeah, he's got the ability there just as much as Barkley. I just think that Barkley has more experience in the Premier League, and as a coach, I feel like Lampard will want to start with experience. He wants to start the season well, so especially against a team like United, he's going to go for the experience over Mason Mount, even though he might like Mason Mount more because he's managed him before and all of that. I think Barkley will get the go ahead over Mason Mount, and Mason Mount could come on 60th, 70th minute, but I just think Barkley will play that. Will start the first game of the season and first few games of the season, in fact.
Did you have Wan-Bissaka in your team before this news of Harry Maguire basically signing?
I had Wan-Bissaka in my team since 2 days ago, I think 3 days ago. I watched him. I don't know who they played. I forgot, but he was getting high up the pitch. At some point, he was in the box of the opposing. Obviously, I can't remember what team it was. It might have been weaker, but regardless, he used to be a right winger, moved to a right back, so he has got that attacking potential. And especially if Maguire joins, that will free him up. Obviously, depending on Solskjaer's tactics, but they'll free him up to get a bit more forward and cross them balls in, get in the box if he's like a cut, if he likes to cut inside. Yeah, I really like Wan-Bissaka as a pick. As like Jay, a lot of people are going to overlook United, and I think they'll do very well if they get Maguire in. Yeah.
So you've got this is going to be a question for the evening. You've got a double Liverpool defence. Is their pre-season form regarding their defence not worrying you?
Nah, I'm not interested in the pre-season. Even if they don't keep clean sheets, the attacking potential is crazy. Van Dijk, from corners, he looks like a monster in the box. He looks like his children. Like he gets up there, tries to head the ball, he hits it, and Trent Alexander on the corners, whipping them in. If that could be a double, that could be an assist and a goal. If it goes well, obviously. So I just like Van Dijk and Alexander simply for their attacking points, and then add to that the clean sheet bonus. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't care about their preseason form. It's not about wins and all of that nonsense. Like in preseason, they want to get their fitness up, work on different tactics, a lot of stuff, work on different teams. So I'm not worried about preseason at all. I think it'll be a different monster when the season starts, Liverpool.
Yeah, I completely concur with that. Just one
Yeah.
final point about Emerson on the bench here. You're pretty confident that Emerson is going to be first teamer for Chelsea? Or is this just...
So that's why he's on the bench over Wan-Bissaka. So I want Wan-Bissaka and Emerson, both of them. I'm just more certain that Wan-Bissaka will get the start, and that's why Emerson's on the bench for the first game of the season. And also Emerson is there because I want to have some flexibility in my team to be able to put players in and out based on fixtures. So personally, in game week 2, if Emerson starts game week 1, Zinchenko won't be in my team. It will be Emerson, Wan-Bissaka, Arnold, and Van Dijk, because I just don't think City are very likely to keep a clean sheet against Spurs, and Chelsea will keep. I feel are more likely to keep a clean sheet against Leicester. So yeah, that's why that.
FPL Boona, obviously you're with us live as well. Hopefully I'm not going to be breaking up or anything. What are your thoughts on Dereco's 4-5-1? I really like it. I think it's really, really good.
Yeah, I like it. Personally, I wouldn't go for Barkley, but as a Chelsea fan, I can kind of get that. You've got that slight risk of Mount potentially starting over him, or do you think Barkley definitely starts?
Personally, I think. Definitely. I think Barkley will start.
Yeah.
I don't see even Lampard. Even though that Lampard has love for Mason Mount, I just don't see how he starts someone who's never played in the Premier League for the first game against a top 6 team of the season. I just don't see it. How? And it's not like if Mason Mount was doing amazing and Barkley wasn't, I'd be like, cool, yeah, definitely Mason Mount will start. But Barkley's been doing so good on the ball, off the ball. His passing has been beautiful. So. Yeah, I don't see Mason Mount starting.
Yeah, generally speaking as well, the team looks good, looks strong. Are you not worried about not owning Callum Wilson though? Because it seems like he's quite a popularly owned player, including myself. What's your thoughts on that?
I know. Originally, I've missed the last 3-4 streams just because of timing issues. But I used to have 3 Bournemouth, right? I used to have Ake, Fraser, and Wilson, and just over time, I don't see the value kind of thing. I think Jota is gonna be the top point scorer. It's just a gut feeling, but I think he'll be the top point scorer in that 6.5 bracket, and he'll be up there. So I feel like not having Wilson for those first 2 games. If he does well in those first 2 games, in his 4th game, I might try bring him in. After that, I think they play City game week 3. To start the season, I'm liking how it looks right now. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie.
You've basically got a potential Wilson there if you were to downgrade Emerson. Has that tempted you at all? Or do you prefer that flexibility of being able to rotate?
I like that flexibility. I've also got 0.5 in the bank. I forgot to say.
Oh wow!
I've got 0.5 in the bank as well. So I've got a lot of. This team right here. I feel like I can move so many pieces, based on how players perform game week 1. I can upgrade any of my midfielders or downgrade. I can upgrade my striker quite a bit. I can downgrade my defense quite a bit. I've got a lot of options, and that's what I like to have at the start of the season. This season, yeah.
And your thoughts on a Leicester mid? Because I know a lot of teams I've seen. I don't know about you, Steve. Tend to have a Tielemans or a Perez in there. Have you not considered that at all, like a Barkley and a Perez or a Tielemans instead of Barkley?
I've had them in my team quite a few times at Leicester, Perez and Tielemans, and I feel like game week 1 leave it, and then if they play well game week 1, I could always, and Barkley doesn't perform, I've got 0.5 in the bank. That's a quick upgrade, Barkley to Tielemans or Perez. Do you see what I mean by the flexibility? I don't have to have every player in the book on game week 1. Do you know what I mean? I can always change eventually and form my team into what's looking like it's going to be value. What's looking to be value.
Yeah, absolutely fine. And I don't mean to come across like I'm ripping your team in. I think the team's really strong.
My
final question was around the goalkeeper, because I've not seen anyone with Gunn in there. Intrigued to know what's kind of inspired that choice, because their fixtures for Southampton aren't exactly amazing either.
I know. Basically, I was looking at last season. He has the top points earned per match from any player that played around 1,000 minutes. And now I think he's the first goalkeeper for Southampton. He's played, I think, all of their preseason games. I think he's got potential to get over 120 points next season. He's going to be a set and forget, so he'll be there forever. regardless of fixtures. If he doesn't do well at the start of the season, he's got good fixtures coming. I feel like he's owned by 1.5% of people. So if you're going for differential somewhere, because if everyone goes for Ryan, that's everyone's got Ryan, so everyone's going to get same points. I've got Van Dijk. These players are okay. They're your majority point earners. But then I feel like you have to have some sort of differential, and that's my two. That's Barkley and Gunn for me. Those are two. I've got 2 out of 11 players that are differentials for me. I feel like. So that's why I've gone with Gunn.
You're not giving any thought to the Sheffield United keeper now, who's been priced at 4.5, Dean Henderson, because I know there's a lot of excitement about him in the community.
I did until like 5 minutes ago. I've never heard his name, so I have no idea.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Honestly, I'll look into it.
I think I believe Davey P in the chat was saying earlier that his save percentage in the Championship last season was ridiculously high. Like, if you compare Fabianski last season, 42% save percentage, and De Gea late 40s, 47. Dean Henderson's save percentage in the Championship last season was around 60%. So it could be quite an option. I guess if you wanted to wait and see, then that's absolutely fair enough.
Yeah.
It's their fixtures; they're horrific.
Yeah, there's that.
They are.
Also, everyone. Yeah, sorry.
I was just going to say that's the only thing that's put me off Henderson, and I actually said that I'd get him in no matter what, but I just looked at their fixtures and I'm like, no way am I bringing in someone that is just going to get me save points. I'd rather stick with, I don't know, Matt Ryan as an example. At least Brighton are more, what's the word I'm looking for? Have a history of keeping clean sheets, shall we speak? A reputation, so to speak, at least, even though, funny enough, I hate Matt Ryan for last season. Yeah,
they've got an attacking coach now as well, apparently. So
but also with Angus Gunn last season, when I brought him in, it completely backfired on me. He did absolutely nothing. And I didn't like. I was really infuriated because he got the majority of points across, a certain period of time. And then the second I jumped on the bandwagon, he went and failed every single time. So I'd be a bit wary of Southampton. I think they're going to be a bit like Brighton, actually, maybe a bit too open next season. I think they're going to be just really going for it. But
the first game's against Burnley. What do you think about that?
It's got 1-1 written all over it. It's got 1-1 written all over it.
I looked at the previous 3 or 4 games, and they never scored. Each team never scores more than 1 goal.
Yeah,
it's always a 1-0, 1-1, 1 or 0-0.
Yeah,
like every single game in the last 3 or 4 matches.
Put it this way. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If we lose that game, that means we're going to be starting the season off really, really badly. If we get something out of the game, it means that I know it sounds really ridiculous. It's a wait and see, but I know I'm using every single kind of thing here, but. If we win by a clean sheet, I think jump onto Burnley straight away because it tells me that we've got a load of confidence. But I think that game's got 1-1 written all over it. Dereco, thank you for coming live on Elite FPL Radio. I'll explain that in about 2 seconds. Thank you so much.
Can I just ask you one more question?
No, you can't. You've been dropped off air. Of course you can. Carry on.
I've got a theory. I would like to hear your opinion on it. Both your guys' opinions. Is that possible?
So long as it's not rude or crass, then you carry on, my friend.
Maybe. I'm joking. So I heard that Zaha got the most penalties in the top 5 leagues last season. So for his team, he got the most penalties. If he goes to Everton and repeats that, Sigurdsson will be a fantastic option because if he's on penalties and Zaha is renowned to get penalties for his team, Sigurdsson's points could go through the roof. Just like how Milivojevic is like one of the top midfield point getters last season because of the penalties. So Sigurdsson, with his current points, imagine you add all those penalties, taking all those penalties, you add that to his score, he could be fantastic. And recently, I haven't seen anyone with Sigurdsson in the team, even though at the start, everyone had Sigurdsson in the teams. What do you think about that? Do you think if Zaha goes to Everton, do you think Sigurdsson could go back into your teams? Or no?
I don't think I'd take Sigurdsson in my team, but I think that you've brought up a really, really valid point that if Zaha is anything like he is at Crystal Palace, you are completely correct that the penalty taker of Everton in Sigurdsson will be an absolute steal, especially the fact that we throw on top how good Sigurdsson is anyway as an option, and then you throw on top the fact that he may have regular penalties. I think what are your thoughts on that, Boona?
Yeah, I think you're spot on, but it just makes it all the more important having those kind of, players in those sort of price brackets in your midfield, so that it's an easy transfer over if Everton do start like a house on fire and Zaha is winning these penalties and Siggy then converting them. For example, right now I've got like Fraser, Perez, and Tielemans, and Salah and Sterling. Salah and Sterling obviously are nailed. Fraser, Perez, and Tielemans, there's not too much room to bring in the likes of Siggy and Zaha there, so it's something to consider. But I think you're onto something, definitely. He could, but alternatively, he might just get penalised and get a 5-match ban. Who knows? It could work both ways. How many of the penalties that he won were legitimate, and how many were dramatised?
That is true. That is true.
Brilliant.
And speaking on flexibility, I've got Lucas. So after game, if it's looking like that can happen, I can just go Lucas to Sigurdsson as well, or Richarlison, or whoever. So anyway, thank you so much, guys. I don't want to waste your time. I know other people want to get on. So
cheers, Director. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you,
Boona, just a quick question for you. What are your thoughts on the Elite FPL community team as it stands right now with the most votes?
So let me just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 of those players were in the team that I submitted and in my current team on FPL. So I think it's spot on. I really like that. I haven't got Laporte or Digne, but I think they're great options.
What are your thoughts on the fact that people are now a tiny bit concerned about maybe going with double Liverpool defence because of their pre-season?
I'm one of them. I mean, I can understand it from both perspectives. So what I mean by that is, at the moment, obviously, Liverpool are playing without their key attackers, Salah, Mane, Firmino, who make a massive difference and push the opposition back. But because they're not there and able to, play that pressing game, they're susceptible to the counter, and that's what's happening. But at the same time, it doesn't fill me with a whole deal of confidence, the fact that they're conceding 2s and 3s almost every game in pre-season. And, that is their main kind of starting back four. So, it shouldn't make that much of a difference. So that's why I've kind of retracted and gone back to just one Liverpool defender and Salah. And I'm happy to start like that. I've seen a number of people going 3 Liverpool defenders. And I think you're just, opening yourself up to disaster.
This pick of Rico, do you want to tell the audience of why, basically?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm well aware that Rico, there's a 50-50 chance whether he starts. Bournemouth have purchased a left back from Bristol City, Lloyd Kelly, pressed quite a lot in pre-season, which is the same buying for. But I've put him in there just on the odd chance that he does start, and I've got Kelly there. Villa right back Gilbert. So I'm happy to go with that for now, and the reason for that is from next week I wouldn't play Rico anyway, because Aston Villa's fixtures turn for the better, so I'd be playing Gilbert there most weeks anyway, and his stats really shine. Like he's rated third across the whole of Europe since 2016 for most tackles and interceptions made. So from a bonus points perspective, if they were to keep a clean sheet, he'd be right up there.
Can you tell our audience about the what you find is the benefits of the Discord? Because earlier on there was about, like I said, 8 or 9 of you in the chat, and I want you to just plug it basically and tell people why to go in there.
Because you've got managers in there from all different backgrounds and perspectives of football, fantasy football, life in general, and every day you're in there, you're learning different things. If you're confined to one method of receiving information, you'll stick to that, but it's good hearing different perspectives. For example, we had Block FPL in there, who finished 50th in the world last season, given his kind of insight, his love for Bournemouth and why he thinks we should go at least double up in Bournemouth, Fraser and Wilson and stuff. And it's just good because everyone that's in live chat, we're getting to know them on a deeper level, if you like. And it just creates and improves that community interaction. When we're in live chat, we know exactly who we are we're speaking to because we've actually spoken to them in person. And I think it's just brilliant. There's no one else out there at the moment that's doing this. So if you're in the live chat and you're not in Discord, get involved. The sort of conversations that I'm having with Steve right now, you can have with other members and subscribers of Elite FPL, and you can speak amongst yourselves.
Absolutely. I've been made aware that basically we are having record figures at the moment watching this. So for anybody that is watching this and is enjoying it, please just hit that like button. If you are completely brand new to this and you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button and you will be able to get notified as to when we go live at these sporadic moments. Follow us on Twitter at EliteFPL, Instagram at EliteFPL, and as Boona said, join this Discord group and get part of a very ever-growing community. I'm going to bring on Chicken Tikka Mo Salah. We tried to get you on last night. It didn't happen. We're going to get you on now. I know Statman was talking about you the other day. Here we go. Chicken Tikka Mo Salah, you are live on Elite FPL Radio. Welcome to the show.
Hello, how are you?
All good, my friend. All good. I was told you were from Bristol.
Yeah, I am, yeah.
I was expecting
Bristol City.
I was expecting a Bristolian accent.
No, Bristol.
I was expecting a Bristolian accent. What's going on? Where are you originally from?
Bristol. Yeah, I'm from Bristol, yeah.
You just haven't got the accent.
Yeah, the accent is just drained off.
So, I've been asking everybody, and I'm going to ask you, what are your thoughts on this Elite FPL community team so far that's received the most votes?
Yeah, I think it's definitely the right one. Obviously, most people have got obviously all the players. So yeah, I think it's the right team at the moment. Yeah.
Is there any changes off the top of their head that you would make to this specific team?
Nah, not that I can think. Nah.
Have you actually submitted a Elite FPL community team just of interest?
No, I haven't. No. No, I've literally just been talking too much in the Discord group. To be fair.
So, what are your thoughts on Maguire joining Man United just before we bring up your team?
I think it's obviously be an excellent signing because obviously they've had Smalling, Jones, and I think they just come in properly, shore up the defence, and obviously with Wan-Bissaka as well, makes him a even better bet. Or if you want to go for De Gea in goal, so yeah, I think it's an excellent signing for them.
So we've got your team up like... Okay, actually, I'll ask you this question. You were the one that was chatting with Statman, aka Kevin, aka Statman, about Ceballos. And you persuaded him to get him in your team. Before we go into the reasonings as to why you haven't picked him per se, we can all see why up on screen. But tell the viewers why you think Ceballos could be an absolute bargain this season for Arsenal.
Well, if he plays sort of a more like an attacking role, or like an Aaron Ramsey role, like what he did before, I think he could be quality. I watched him during the under-21s. Obviously, I know it's a different sort of level, but he looked quality in there. His passing, scoring free kicks, his agility. So I think 5.5 as well. If he starts and he's a bit more, allowed forward a bit more, I think he can be a really good signing for them and on FPL.
And talking of Arsenal, obviously they're about to sign this Pepe. Is that going to be a good signing for Arsenal?
Yeah, I think so. I think his stats from last season, I think he got something like 22 goals and 11 assists for Lille. So yeah, I think it'd be excellent signing. I think it'd just help Aubameyang more for the Aubameyang owners as well.
Boona, obviously you're still there, and what are your thoughts on this Ceballos and Pepe going to Arsenal? Does this worry you as a Tottenham fan, or in all seriousness, is this just, it doesn't really matter, Tottenham are a better quality team over Arsenal?
Yeah, spot on. It doesn't bother me the slightest because Arsenal clearly have got no brains or logic because their problem is the defence and they go and buy more attackers. It makes absolute zero sense. Yeah. I didn't even want to watch the video on Pepe and, how he's been. I've said to anyone that said to me, I'm like, don't care. Don't show me. Don't want to know.
So we got a chicken tikka Mo Masala's team up on screen at the moment. He's going with a 4-3-3 formation. We got Nick Pope in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Zinchenko, Van Dijk, Wan-Bissaka, Sterling, De Bruyne, Fraser, and then up front it's Wilson, Wesley, and Kane. Another Wesley fan here. So yeah, chicken straight away. We've just spoken about Wan-Bissaka here. It's more the fact that I'm not going to say you haven't got Salah because I understand that. It's the fact that you're going with De Bruyne ahead of Sane. Is this just because of safety?
Yeah, pretty much. I think if he can stay fit, I think that price, I think he's going to be a bargain on, and I think he'll start most games as well. And if you look at his stat, the previous seasons when he was fit and he cost more expensive, I think he got 209 points and 199. So yeah, I think he's
Charlie. Where's this come from? You had Salah in your team like yesterday. What's caused this?
No, I just been trying different teams really. With Kane in as well, and I think maybe Beaks. I mean, obviously we got the Community Shield to see how Salah plays and how Liverpool play, but yeah, for now I've just gone with this team. But I've got loads of drafts obviously, but I think this team's quite good.
No, I like the look of it, and funny enough, in pre-season, Kevin De Bruyne, my understanding is he's got 1 goal and 3 assists. I mean, that pretty much sums up Kevin De Bruyne full stop. He is just your assist machine. He'll get you assists all day long, but when it comes to goals, it's like literally 1 every 3 or 4 games. But are you not concerned, though, that to get the amount of points Kevin De Bruyne will potentially bring you, you're going to have to own him for virtually every single game of the season?
Yeah, definitely, but I think De Bruyne, it is someone that you can easily own for the season, especially obviously the way Man City play. You know, they're quite a counter-attacking team. He likes to put through balls through to like Aguero, Sterling, etc. So yeah, I think he's good to have for the season, especially at his price as well.
I completely agree. You're someone that I've just mentioned that seems to be a Wesley fan. What are your thoughts on owning Wesley? Because I actually think he looks like a fantastic option, and based on what people like Statman are saying about him, it looks like he could be a potential Jimenez for this year. And what I mean by that is a bargain player from a promoted team doing really, really well.
Yeah, definitely. I think obviously he was in the Belgium league last year, which was obviously it is a bit of a difference, but I think he's still quite young, and I think Villa have made. Even though they've made a lot of signings, I think they've made some good signings, and I think with getting some wingers in and Grealish and McGinn, I think he might be on penalties as well, because I think he's took 1 or 2 in pre-season. I've seen his one against Warsaw, which was a mad penalty. But yeah, I think he could be good, really good. I think especially at 6 million.
So I usually ask this with quite a lot of people. So this is your 4-3-3 here. And what is the likelihood of this being your game week 1 team at 7 o'clock that evening?
It could be quite easily, because I made this team about a couple of hours ago. But at least for the first few weeks, obviously, if Salah, like I said before, if Salah plays well and passes the eye test against Man City, and he looks lively and don't look tired, because I watched the AFCON games and he looked proper knackered, like a few other South African viewers before. He just looked knackered, so yeah, I'll have to see. But yeah, I do like the look of the team, to be honest.
So you're Boona, there's been so your name's Charlie, is it? So
yeah, Charlie.
So as Charlie's just mentioned there about people concerned about Salah's fitness or tiredness, does this concern you, Boona?
The only reason it doesn't concern me is because the masses are going for Salah. If they weren't, I'd be more concerned. And how I see it is, even if he was to start poorly, if he was to miss out, I wouldn't be the only one. It would literally be most people, and that's my perspective.
Yeah, that is true, to be fair. There is a lot of people that own him.
Yeah, exactly. Charlie, what can I say? Thank you for joining us live on Elite FPL Radio. Just a quick question. I think this is the first time we got you live on air.
Oh, sorry, say that again. It just broke up a bit.
I was just wondering, is this the first time that you've been live on air?
No, I think it's the second time I've been late.
All right, okay. It doesn't matter. I was going to say, how did you find out about the stream? It doesn't matter. So thank you very much for joining us this evening.
Yeah, cheers for having me, Steve.
No, cheers. Speak to you soon. All right, bye.
Yeah,
There we are there. Charlie there from Bristol, where I used to live. Well, nearby anyway. We have Shaban in chat, and once I can bring Shaban up, Shaban, you'll be coming live on the Elite FPL radio channel. Please make sure that your mic is unmuted, and we will get you live on air in a 3, 2. Shaban, you are live on Elite FPL radio. What do you want to? Well, I'll ask the question here. What are you thinking about this Elite FPL community team?
Unmute yourself first, Chaban.
He's not unmuted himself. We'll just quickly get off. Well, we have another caller in the waiting room, and it is... What's going on here? I've put myself away. And
Whoops, wrong one, Steve.
Oh, here we are. Shaban is there. Afternoon, Shaban. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you, buddy. How are you?
All good, my friend. How are you finding this Elite FPL community team, how it's shaped up so far? This is the team, obviously, with the most votes.
Yeah, it was very similar to the one that I submitted. So yeah, I'm quite happy with it. I just kind of guessed what the template would be for the FPL, and I kind of got it right almost.
Yeah, I mean, you've just mentioned the fact that this team is very similar to yours. I mean, in what respect?
Oh no, the community team that I put in was almost pretty much the same as this, except for I think I put King in, and instead of Tielemans, I put Sigurdsson in it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm personally surprised actually at the lack of selections for various people, i.e. Jota, King, Vardy, Kane as an example. And it's all been basically for Wilson and Wesley as the starting front two. Is that a surprise to both of you?
I would. No, not really. Wesley is a bit of a bandwagon player at the moment. Everyone's been impressed with him, and he's cheap at 6 mil, so he fits in. So I've been 0.5 short of a 6.5 striker. It's often happened. So he just, since he's come into the game, he kind of fits in quite well. And I think a lot of people have just put him in.
I think his fixtures are. So I don't see him as a problem being in that our template team right now. And he's done well in pre-season. What more can you ask for? I'm a big believer of confidence, and he's clearly confident.
Yeah, Shaban, I've been
asked. I think. Sorry, go on.
No, you carry on. Shaban.
Yeah, sorry, Steve. I interrupted you. I was waiting.
Basically, I'll just ask the question of, I've been asking this all evening, the fact that Maguire has pretty much now looks like he's going to be signing for Man United. Does this make defensive options in Aaron Wan-Bissaka and possibly even David De Gea more appealing?
Yeah, sorry, you were cutting out a bit there, Steve. I think you said something about Wan-Bissaka and
yeah, are they more attractive options now that Maguire has signed for them?
Oh, definitely, yes. It'll definitely add some strength to that defence. I think they've been good options from the start without Maguire, but yeah, it'll definitely help.
Yeah, and also the what do you think this Pepe? What do you think about him signing for Arsenal?
Well, he's certainly got a good record behind him last season. He's got a lot of hype as well. A lot of big teams were after him, so if they get it over the line, it'll be a good signing. But I think everyone knows that it's not really the signing they should be going for. They should be looking further back to try and shore their defence up. But it's the Arsenal way, isn't it?
I mean, Charlie beforehand has been bigging up this Ceballos for Arsenal that's just signed for them. I mean, what are your thoughts on this Ceballos being a potential bargain for them, and could he be the Aaron Ramsey that we've all been looking for?
Yeah, he fits the mould. It's a dimension to the Arsenal field that's been missing since Ramsey's gone. He can progress with the. He's, as we've seen from the highlight videos, he's got quite a bit of skill as well. Yeah, his numbers at Real Madrid weren't too good, but if you go back further to his Real Betis career, which is the reason that Real Madrid bought him, his numbers are excellent, and he's going to be involved a lot in the play in that Arsenal side.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. So, any more final thoughts before we let you go?
Sorry, Steve, I missed that.
I was just saying, have you got any more final thoughts before we let you off into the this warm evening?
I'm sorry, mate. It keeps cutting out. I don't know what's going on.
All right, just apologies there. So it looks like a bit of a technical issue here. I don't know why. I have no idea what's going on here. Apologies to Shaban there for probably myself cutting out there, but. We do have a special guest in the Discord at the moment, and it's somebody that It was somebody that I've just given it away now. It was somebody that FPL Boone was talking about, but unfortunately, yeah, there we are. So Block FPL is in the waiting room at the moment, and Block, if you unmute your mic, we'll be able to get you live on there. So Block FPL, all the way from the United States of America. Last season, he ended up 50th. Overall ranking, and he is somebody that's a massive advocate of this triple Bournemouth attack, and I want to get his thoughts to see if he's changed that opinion. Block FPL, you are live on Elite FPL Radio. Good evening or good morning or whatever time of the day it is over in America.
Hello, how are you?
All good, my friend. So you're somebody that's a massive advocate. Well, you were a big advocate of a triple Bournemouth attack. Are you still in that same mindset?
Yeah, I mean, right now my eyes are on Fraser and Wilson for sure, but I don't really see myself fitting in a third option at the moment. King's all right, but sort of based on preseason. I mean, Boona mentioned it earlier how confidence plays a big factor, especially for forwards. They want to be scoring goals, and Wilson has that right now. I don't think King does, so I'm not as big on the triple up, but definitely the double up.
Yeah, so who have you then gone for instead in your two-man attack, if it's still a two-man attack, of course?
I have De La Feu as my 6.5 option.
Oh, really? He's received in our community team. He's received 2 votes, so to speak. Why De La Feu for you?
Just because the matchups in the first 4 game weeks are pretty good. Especially the first one, Brighton, at home. I'm sure a lot of people have heard by now. De La Feu statistics about how he pretty much just killed a couple of small teams. He can have like another one of those big games where he scores, twice or maybe a hat trick. And then after that, I'm sort of looking to get rid of him, maybe for somebody like Jose Perez when his fixtures get a little better.
So what is your what kind of thought processes have changed over the last few weeks regarding your FPL team? What are like the biggest ones that you've Obviously, you've got rid of King now. Your triple Bournemouth. What other major factors have changed within your team?
Well, I've got rid of Laporte now. I've got Zinchenko. I've just posted my team in the chat so you can have a look. But I've actually got a double up on Watford with Cathcart and De La Feu. Pretty much just out of budget options. But no, it's pretty much stayed the same, to be honest. I'm pretty sure, like you asked earlier, you're asking people, how certain are you going to be that this is going to be your game week 1 team? I think, I maybe will only change 2 or 3 of these players.
Have you got any concerns about the double up of, or in some people's cases, triple up Liverpool defence? But certainly with a double up, are you concerned regarding their pre-season form, or are you just thinking it's just pre-season, not to worry?
I mean, it worries me somewhat, but I think I'm just going to have to stick with them because I'm not willing to get rid of that good of value just because of preseason.
And I'd like to get your thoughts on Wesley. Obviously, a striker with some a decent background within reason, playing for a promoted team, looks to have some really, really good fixtures. A lot of chat about bringing him in and everything. Has he ever tempted you at all?
Well, I mean, it's a good question. I don't know anything about Wesley, to be honest. Well, the only thing I know about him is like he's 76 rated on FIFA, but to me, the 0.5 million that you can go up to get somebody like Jota or King or De La Feu is definitely worth it. I mean, I know some people may not think that, but I'm not sold on Wesley just because he's on Aston Villa and he's on a new Again, he might be one of those players that informed that I can bring him in, but I'm not starting off with him, especially a game where Aston Villa will be lucky if they score, multiple goals or even one goal the first game. I'm not willing to concede, just one game right off the bat like that. That's 2 points most likely.
What are your thoughts on that, Boona? What Block's just said about basically not trusting, let's be honest here, Aston Villa's main man?
No, it's a very valid point. That's usually especially on a player that's just been promoted. But the kind of two key factors that appeal, like I said earlier, he's confident right now. He's scoring one, amazing. And Villa have made, a whole series of signs, a lot of them who, look really good, like going forward. So you think there's goals in it for him, and that's kind of the risk I'm taking here. But I do agree, at 6.5, the likes of Jota or Deulofeu are certainly appealing. So, whilst he was speaking, I was having a look to see if there's anywhere I can kind of make 0.5. So I think you could be onto something there, but Wesley's not the worst of picks right now.
Block, we've had a lot of calls regarding Salah and their concerns of his form towards the end of the African Cup of Nations, looking a bit tired, a little bit out of sorts and everything. Does this concern you, or is it just a case of, a bit like with Liverpool and their defence, it's Liverpool at the end of the day? Is it the same question of, it's Salah, don't worry about it?
I don't know, because it seems like a lot of times throughout last season, people had a lot of doubts about Salah. I think the main thing that makes people doubt Salah so quickly is his price tag. When you're spending so much for a player, you want pretty much for him to be perfect almost, like with no sort of doubts about that kind of stuff. But I don't think it's the biggest thing to worry about. I think if it was a smaller player, people would still bring him in. I think he's still going to do fine, especially that first matchup against Norwich. That should give him, some. Hopefully, he scores in that game, and then he'll be good with the confidence and stuff. So I'm not too worried about it. Honestly, I can't see myself dropping him from the team just because of preseason form or tiredness or something like that. We saw last season how Hazard did when I didn't start off with him because I was scared about similar factors, and that really didn't work out. So I'm not too worried about it. I think he'll be fine.
What are some of the strategies that you've seen across various formats that you thought, oh, don't even go down there? For example, you've mentioned triple Bournemouth. I've seen some people going with triple Liverpool, triple City, triple Liverpool defence, triple Liverpool defence, triple Man City midfield as an example. People going with Sane and De Bruyne instead of just having Sterling. What kind of strategies have you seen where you just thought, nope, avoid like the plague?
I don't know. I can't say there's a certain strategy that is just terrible. I'm not the biggest fan of triple Liverpool just because, Van Dijk's good value. Somebody mentioned earlier on here that he has goal threat. I'm not really. Yeah, he does, but it's not that huge. People score for 3% of corners, and I'm not convinced by it. But I like double up Man City in their midfield. If you can fit Sterling and De Bruyne in plus a defender, I think it's pretty important to try to get a triple up on Man City if you can. Just because they start the seasons off so well last 2 seasons under. But other than that, I'm not too worried about formation types of strategies. I mean, because you can change from a 5 at the back to a 3 at the back with just changing 2 players around. So there's no strategy in and of itself that's terrible. It's more about the players you get in that strategy, I think.
There's a few people which have actually said that Sane is worth a 2-week, maybe 3-week punt. Do you think Sane is actually an option to maybe potentially cover the Sterling points, knowing what we know about his history in fantasy football and the fact that he can actually outperform Sterling?
Well, I mean, how certain are we that Sane is going to play? I mean,
yeah,
exactly. I haven't been keeping. I don't know. So if somehow he convinces me that he's going to start a game, then I might actually consider him. Up to this point, I really haven't considered him. I think I'd take De Bruyne instead of him, pretty consistently. I'm not a big fan of Sane right now, just because he's such a risk to get. You can, say you get Sane, but you don't have Wilson, at a cheaper price who probably going to score more points, in my opinion. I just think there's probably better value than.
I've been asking various people when they've come live on air this simple question. Now Maguire looks like he's signed for Man United. Do you think that Man United assets are actually even more worth looking at? For instance, Jason's a huge advocate of Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Also, does David De Gea become a more appealing option as a set-and-forget goalkeeper?
I am more interested in Man United's defense now. I do think Maguire's good, obviously, along with Wan-Bissaka. That should help them somewhat, but I still don't know if they'll keep as many clean sheets as they did under Mourinho. Because, I mean, obviously Mourinho is a very defensive manager. I'm not sure Gunnar Solskjaer is really the same way. So even if they do have the better defenders, I'm not sure if that'll make up for the difference in terms of defensive strategy versus offensive strategy. So, I mean, Wan-Bissaka, I definitely look at him because he has the bonus points potential and some assist potential. But, yeah, I'll probably have Wan-Bissaka in my team at some point this season. But I don't think I'll start off with him.
Just a final question for yourself, which is, so we had Davey FPL on last night, and he's one of these people that's actually saying that of the back line for Liverpool, Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's a very, very popular pick for us fantasy managers, could be the most at risk of rotation, with the fact that Gomez is probably the preferred option as a defender rather than someone that just likes to attack like Trent Alexander-Arnold. Does that put you off Trent Alexander-Arnold, or do you think that, nope, he's a quality player, stick with it, I'll happily have him ahead of, say, Robertson?
I mean, it's a slight worry, I guess, but I haven't really considered moving him out of the squad. I don't really see Klopp sitting Alexander-Arnold that much. I think it's the perfect time after him having such a great season last season to develop him and give him more confidence and play him every week. I don't see him being rotated too much, to be honest. I haven't really seen too much evidence of that happening. Besides last season, Klopp hasn't really said anything about it or something like that. I'm not worried about it, to be honest. He's such a threat going forward. He's probably going to score more points than Robertson if they play every game. Yeah, it's not putting me off at all.
Completely agree. Yeah.
I'll quickly make this point. So for anybody that is screaming at the TV or mobile phone or whatever and going, we don't care about any of these questions. Block FPL, he ended up 50th in the world. We want to know his team. Block, you do your own YouTube channel. So for anybody that wants to subscribe to Block, just head over to his YouTube channel. But for anybody that just wants to row right now, because they're so impatient, Block, what right now is your 11-man team?
My 11-man team? All right, so I have Ederson in goal. I have Alexander-Arnold, Robertson, Dean, Zinchenko, Cathcart, Salah, Sterling, Fraser, De La Feu, and Wilson.
There we are, everybody. There's the answer to the question. Go check out Block's YouTube channel. Block, thank you ever so much for joining us live on Elite FPL Radio, my friend.
Thanks for having me on.
Cheers, dude. Take it easy.
Block.
There we are.
Cheers.
Block FPL joining us live from America. Boona, I asked Block earlier on this simple question. I'll quickly ask you. What strategies have you seen on a semi-regular basis where you think, no, back off? For example, the triple Liverpool defence.
That's literally the only one that's that I've kind of had that reaction to. I've seen one, maybe two with full budget defence and full blown front seven. Even that, I'm not keen on. But the triple Liverpool defence is what really gets to me. Like I don't think that's a viable strategy at all. I'm okay with triple Man City midfield. I think there's massive potential. The likes of Sterling, De Bruyne and Sane. The reason I say Sane, you're obviously having that discussion with Brock just there. And I think he's got, he's an explosive player, and his history against West Ham is unreal. Like, he scored 18 points last season, and the previous time he also scored like double digits. So, but at the end of the day, we don't know if he's even going to stay there. So, but yeah, those are the kind of, the Liverpool defence triple ups, not for me.
So, this is going to be an interesting one. So, I mentioned about what seems like an eternity now. We had a new viewer to the show that came on the chat and just said hello to everybody, and they've been welcomed. It's Emilian, and more importantly, they've come straight into the Discord group. They want to talk about their their team basically they've chosen. They've got a very, very interesting strategy. Emilian, make sure that your microphone is make sure that the stream is... unmute your mic. Make sure the stream is muted, and we will get you live on air right now and talk about your team. Emilian, you are live on Elite FPL Radio. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you.
No, thank you for joining us. So, first of all, this is the first time you've watched the Elite FPL podcast. How are you finding it so far?
I'm loving it so far. It's great. I've changed my team 3 times already, just from all your advice and Block and everyone here.
I detect an accent. I'm not going to guess where you are, so please tell the audience whereabouts you are from in the world.
Well, I was born in Serbia, but I live in the United States right now.
Wow.
Same as Block.
Whereabouts?
Ohio.
Wow. So,
yeah.
This is an interesting team that I'm about to bring up. And there's a reasoning as to why it's interesting, because you've got a potential different strategy to everybody, and it's going to be really interesting to hear, Booner's thoughts on this. So, it's a
I'm ready.
It's a 5-3-2 formation, and we're going to preface this by saying this. You're still considering a Game Week 2 free hit to avoid the bad fixtures in Game Week 2 because of the 6 of the 11 in your team. So
yes, I just did the team again. I updated one time, a bit lower down. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, just to say that again, you've actually updated your team since.
Yeah, I just swapped King out for Dale Feu, thanks to Block.
Interesting. Okay. What made Block's advice change your mind?
Well, if I do free hit in Game Week 2, Dale Feu's fixtures match that. He has a bad fixture in Game Week 2, but he has good ones in 1 and 3. So it just matches perfectly.
Are you actually, just of interest, are you new to the fantasy football game, or is this your 20th season?
This is my fourth season.
So this is your 4th season, okay. What is making you... and how well do you normally do at this game?
Well, yes, last season, for the first half, in the top 20,000. And then after that, it all came crashing down, and I stopped playing. So I fell down to like 100-something, 150,000, 160.
You stopped playing. I mean, if it's like a private issue, you don't need to obviously tell the world. But why? What was the reason for you stop playing the game?
I just got frustrated with it. It just came crashing down. I kept getting red arrows after red arrows for 5, 6, 7 game weeks in a row, and I'll just wait till next season.
I'm fascinated by that, because you got to 20,000-ish around Christmas time. Is that right?
Yes.
And you felt that your season was going to pop, basically. I mean, what looking back, what do you think was causing you to drop so low? Well, I'll give you an example. Was it because you were listening to too much information from the Twitter and YouTube community?
Yeah, it just felt like every transfer I was making was incorrect, and all my decisions were the opposite of what actually happened. So I just got too frustrated with that.
So were you not going with your, as they say, your gut feeling?
Yeah, no, I wasn't. I was listening too much to all the advice and everything on the internet, and went with that instead. So.
Yeah, we try and, I say warn people. I think it's a bit of a strong wording saying warning people, but I think that 99% of the advice that most people will say is just go with your gut rather than listen to the Twitter community. In fact, one of our moderators, Daily Llama, he was very, very high up in the rankings. I think he said he was in the... What was Daily Llama Booner again? The top 500?
What's that? Overall rank?
Yeah, Daily Llama. He was somewhere in the top 500 around Christmas time.
Yeah, he was around that time. He didn't finish there, unfortunately, but he was up there.
Yeah, and he came crashing down. He actually blamed the Twitter community rather than sticking with his own gut. So I think this is certainly something to look at. So looking at your team here, Amelia, you go with a 5-3-2 formation straight away.
Yeah.
Why? I know you've said you've changed your draft about 1 million times, but the first question is, why are you going with a 5-3-2 formation?
Well, I looked at the lowest price points for each position, and I thought a 4.0 defender isn't going to get many points. A 4.5 attacker isn't going to get many points either. But 4.5 mids might get some points. So I thought they're the best value for their money at that range. So I wanted to get 2 of them for my bench.
So for anybody listening,
I also wanted Kanan as well, so someone had to make way, and it was my fourth midfielder that came crashing down.
So anybody listening on audio, it's Nick Pope in goal, it's Van Dijk, Alexander-Arnold, Zinchenko, Coleman, Walker-Peters, Sterling, Tielemans, Salah, Kane, and Deulofeu. I know up on screen at the moment it's not Deulofeu, but it is Deulofeu right now.
Yeah.
Straight away, I'm thinking you got 3 heavy-hitting attackers. Nothing wrong with that strategy, but are you not worried that it's going to cause you a captaincy headache?
It will, and I know it will, but I'd still rather have more options than not enough options.
Are you like me, where you think that actually at least having premium attackers means that you're virtually guaranteed some form of points, basically, rather than having to rely on cheapy kind of strikers?
Yeah, I think in any given game week, probably 2 out of the 3, Kane, Sterling, and Salah, 2 of them will get returns, maybe 1 of them blanks, but any given game week, I'll have at least two big returns.
Abuna, obviously being a Tottenham fan, are you encouraged by this Kane and Walker-Peters loving that we seem to be getting recently?
Yeah, I mean, I've had both of them in my team at separate times. I've got Kane in my team right now, and I think Walker-Peters at 5.0 could be really good value. It just depends on, Aurier hasn't featured all pre-season so far, and we're playing Madrid tomorrow. So it's worth for, you guys and everyone in the chat to keep an eye on whether he's... But Walker-Peters could be great value. And Kane, at the moment, I've got him in my team. And I think it's just the fear of missing out with Kane, and that's why I've got him. But I think he could go big. Like we've signed Ndombele, and he's going to kind of cause Dele and Eriksen to play a bit further forward, and hopefully Kane stays up there.
I mean, Amelia, the thing with this team is that, like you said, this is like your 3rd draft alone this season. But of this specific 11 here, how many of that 11 have been pretty much in your every single draft without fail?
6.
And which 6 would that be? I could take a guess, but I'd like to hear it from you.
Salah, Sterling, and then Van Dijk, Alexander-Arnold, Zinchenko, and Coleman.
Oh, okay. You're not concerned with the fact that Everton are signing this, are getting rid of Idrissa Gueye, and it may actually affect Everton's clean sheet potential, and the fact that it doesn't look like Zuma's joining either?
Yeah, I'm slightly worried, but I think the fixtures they're still good enough for at least some clean sheets here and there.
I do like the fact that the 3 midfielders in Sterling, Tielemans, and Salah are pretty much key to everything their specific teams do. I also like like Boone's just said about the Kane pick. It's just Josh King. Are you not concerned about, number 1, Josh King's pre-season form, and number 2, actually, he could be at most threat when it comes to rotation within the Bournemouth team?
Yeah, I got
Deulofeu, isn't he?
Yeah, I got.
Oh, sorry, Deulofeu. Yeah, my apologies. So you're actually pretty happy with Deulofeu then?
Yeah, I think if I do take a free hit in game week 2, his fixtures, yeah, he has a bad fixture in game week 2. I think it's against Arsenal, but I'm not sure. I gotta check real quick. No, Everton away. So yeah, he'll play Brighton game week 1 and West Ham at home game week 3. So if I can bring King in just for game week 2.
I want to delve into this free hit strategy that you're planning on doing in game week 2. Do you not think that's a bit too early?
Yeah, I think it might be too early, and it might come back to haunt me in like game week 33 or 34 late in the season. But I just want to try something new this season. I've gone with the same strategies for the past few seasons, and it hasn't really worked too well. So I'm just trying something new.
Oh, when you said this is a really interesting a topic discussion here, because you're saying that the previous seasons you're saying that you've pretty much been using the strategy of using a chip during the double game week and everything, and it just has completely failed on you. Whereas this season you're thinking, do you know what? Maybe use the chip in a single game week.
Yeah. I mean, even with double game weeks, it's still hard to predict who's going to play and who's not, who's going to get rotated and everything. I think in game week 2, it's much easier to use the free hit effectively, just because you'll know like who'll be rotated or who won't.
Yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on this strategy, Boona?
Strategy meaning what? The
as in
formation,
no, as in using a chip during a single game week rather than a double, because in Amelia's case, it's a fact that it's failed every single season for him, and he'd rather just do it in a single game week instead.
We've seen on countless occasions that it can pay off. Like, we've seen teams that have had the highest game week score, and they're, for example, triple captain Aguero, who's bagged a hat trick and got 51 points. That could quite easily outscore someone in a double game week. I think double game week triple captainships is a bit overrated, to be honest. But the cautious among us like to have that 2 bites at the cherry. So, and I think I'd put myself in that kind of category, because I myself used the triple captain chip on Salah last season against Fulham away, and it backfired, and my head was scrambled. So I'd rather kind of add that, play it in a double game week for me.
Just a quick comment in the chat from Jash Taka saying that, hello everybody, just logged onto the Discord, and what a lovely community. So there you are, Boona, another advocate of the Discord. I mean, Amelia, I know it's your first live stream for us, and I'm assuming obviously this is the first time you've actually used the Discord. Will you be using this Discord community to help you with all your decisions?
Yeah, I plan on going back to this Discord like before every deadline, and just seeing what everyone has to say, and what you guys think. And yeah, it's a really nice community that I found, and I'm really happy to be here.
That's fantastic. Emilian, you're more than welcome to come on the show probably tomorrow, so we'll probably see you then if you want to chat.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much. There's Emilian there, all the way from America. Absolutely amazing. A brand new listener to the show, and he has come straight live on air. I'm going to go straight to Yamanez. Yamanez, we're going to bring you live on air in a 3, 2, 1. Yamanez, you're live on Elite FPL Radio.
Good evening.
Good evening, my friend. So the main question that we've been talking about this evening is the Elite FPL community team, which has got the highest votes so far. It's up on screen at the moment. What are your thoughts on this specific team?
It has some good choice. It's very similar to my chosen team, especially in the midfielder section and attacking section. I could, in my sorry for my bad English.
You carry on, man. You carry on. You're doing fine.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. Yep.
Hear you.
Bad English. I'm a bit nervous.
No, don't apologise. You're doing perfectly fine. No, yeah, you're doing fine.
Let me talk to you about my.
Go for it.
I'm really relying on the midfielders section to score and to get some clean sheets. A lot of people choosing 2 defenders from one team. In my opinions, you're missing a lot of chances to get clean sheets or a lot scoring opportunities, because you're limiting your choices when you get a lot of choices from one team. Some people choose defenders, center back defenders. This is wrong in my opinion too, because you're limiting your defenders' options to getting only clean sheets and with a little bit chances to get some goals with corners, and choosing Van Dijk or Coleman or Laporte. You can easily choose Zinchenko, Robertson, Dini instead of that, which everyone is doing that. Like you can see, all my defender choices are right and left backs.
I completely agree with you there. I play the game in the exact same way. I'm not an advocate of centre backs, and I prefer to have wing backs, right backs, left backs in my team. So I think you're onto something there. I think it's a good choice.
Yeah.
So for people, as I always say, listening on audio, it's well, this is different. Schmeichel in goal. Digne, Robertson, Zinchenko in a 3-5-2 along with Milivojevic, Perez, Lucas Moura, Salah, Sterling, Deulofeu, Josh King. And then on the bench, this is the key. It's not what the normal standard is, which is just a bunch of 4 million non-players. This is playing players, barring maybe one. So Matt Ryan, Charlie Taylor, Lascelles and Greenwood. I want to start asking you with the bench. I think I know why you've chosen this bench. Not specifically the players, but the fact that you're choosing playing players. But in your own thought process, why have you chosen these playing players?
Yeah, I hate to leave my my money not usable. Even if I'm choosing a bench player, I'm not leaving my money not usable because I don't choose my team for 3 or 4 game weeks. I try to choose a continuous team. That's why.
Is this the what? How many seasons have you been playing this for?
This is my third.
Third. So
Yeah.
has this strategy worked for you before, where you're choosing a team? Like I actually do this strategy myself, to be fair, where you choose a team predominantly for the whole season, and obviously you get to change it a bit here and there. Has it been successful for you in the past?
The last season was a bit trouble for me because I was struggling in choosing the captain. I messed up a lot in choosing captains last season, but the season before was very good for me. There's another thing I want to say about that. I'm choosing main two big choices like Salah and Sterling. I'm putting my big portion of my money in 2 players. So if I want to make a change in my team and bring a super player like Aubameyang, Kane, Aguero, I can easily do it with one or 2 choices. Transfers. The mistake I have been doing before that I've been dividing my funds between all the 11 players. I was choosing good defenders like 5.5 million defenders and putting them on the bench.
Yeah.
It's my first time choosing the 4.5 million players. And I think it's going to work.
Yeah, Boona, before we move on to one of the interesting picks in his team here, what are your thoughts on this strategy of choosing a team for virtually the whole season rather than just relying on a set 11?
How do you mean? Sorry, I didn't quite understand that. So
what a lot of people.
Someone that I would keep. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, what I mean is that, so for example, the set 11 that you've got on the screen right now is what you throw all your money into, and you forget about your bench full stop. I'm somebody that actually would rather have a full squad of 15 that kind of play in a way. I'm changing my strategy a bit this season, but what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, usually I'm the same as you, and this particular team has Taylor and is that Lascelles on the bench as well, 2 4.5
Yes,
defenders.
yeah.
I think that's a great strategy. That's something that I would usually go with, but I just feel because of me trying to maximise my team with all three, Kane, Salah, Sterling, I need to use most of my funds, so I've not been able to. But usually, this is the strategy I'd follow too.
So the big name that stands out for me, Jimenez, is Milivojevic. Very rare have I seen his name, despite the fact that co-host Jason was raving about him last season, being probably in everybody's teams this season. Why the Milivojevic pick?
If Zaha will leave to another team, I'm going to change my choice. I've heard this news in your channel. Thanks you.
Who comes in for Milivojevic if Zaha leaves for you? Have you thought of that?
No, there's not a lot of choices out of transfers options.
Fraser?
No. He's, I think he's a bit over. And
oh wow.
Yeah, okay. I think he's a one-season player, in my opinion. I hope it's not. He was my choice before Lucas Moura. I think Lucas Moura is more consistent. I think he's going to be more consistent because of his the way he played in Champions League and the kind of player he showed us last year.
He's going consistent from the bench though, which is probably where he's going to be when Son returns.
Well, yeah, I think so. Yeah, and he's going to be back like 2 weeks later, and then I could return my Fraser back if I found him doing good in his matches.
What about maybe Milivojevic? If Zaha does go to Everton, why not just a straight swap from Milivojevic to Zaha and have Zaha as that Everton player?
Zaha was my choice before Milivojevic, but Milivojevic was my choice for taking penalties, and like your friend said before, Zaha was good at making opportunities for penalties. That was my mainly reason for choosing Milivojevic.
Another interesting pick that I've picked up on here, which again, this player served our other co-host Dan so well. It's the pick of Schmeichel. Why Schmeichel? I haven't even seen him in one draft, so a very unique pick.
I chose Fabianski before. He was my last season full goalkeeper for the full season. Ryan was going to be my main goalkeeper. I changed my mind at the last minute because I'm not putting a lot of hope on Wolf team attacking team, because like Wolf will be so will struggle so much in the first and in the middle and the last of the season. He will be playing in the European League, and that put a lot of pressure on his on its players. Sorry, so I'm not counting a lot of his its attacking and midfielder players.
So Jimenez, where specifically in the world are you calling us from?
Yeah, Turkey.
In Turkey? Wow. Wow. Are you a regular in the Discord, or is this your first time using the Discord?
Yeah. No, it's not my first time. I used play before some games.
Jimenez, I would love a chicken sheesh right now.
So
I could make you some at home. You don't need to buy.
So Jimenez, you've been on the Discord for quite some time. Do you want to just tell the audience in your own words why you are finding the Discord group so helpful?
Yeah, the opportunities that it makes available for us to communicate each other in unique and very good ways, like you can see and hear. Its voice channels is very good, and very well designed, that you can divide your work the way you want. You can put the sections that you want, that you can rid of the complicated comments and the crowded situation, by dividing your preference into different categories, like you can see in the hashtags. And it offers an amateur way to communicate with other people.
Absolutely. Yamanez, I can only say thank you so much for joining us live on air, and hope to have you back on air again soon.
Yeah, thank you too.
Cheers,
Sorry
dude.
for my bad language again.
No, you're absolutely fine, my friend. You're absolutely fine. Cheers, dude. Thank you.
Good evening.
Yamanez there, coming live on the Elite FPL, explaining exactly what's so good about the Discord. Again, Boone, if you just want to just quickly gloss over as to why in your opinion, the Discord group is such a great way to, basically get in with the FPL community, and what you feel it offers.
So basically, you're interacting with managers who have different perspectives to you more often than not, and that's what I like, because in other places, and I'm not going to say where, I've been speaking to managers, and everyone just seems to agree on everything and say, yeah, you're doing right, you're doing fine, but that's not always the case. And I think having different perspectives opens your eyes to things that you may not have considered. And just generally speaking, it feels like a lot more tighter as a community, and I can't say that for a lot of the other channels I followed in the past, and now no longer do so to that sort of level. I feel like this is a proper community. Get involved. What are you waiting for?
Yeah, I mean, yesterday you participated in the Fantasy Football Scouts Charity Day. Could you just tell us about that, please?
You want me to tell? Yeah. So I was part of the Fantasy Football Scout charity tournament yesterday morning, and it didn't go too well. We had 5 games. We lost 5 games.
Oh, come on.
But yeah, it was a good laugh, and it was all for the charity. It was for the I've lost it. I can't remember the exact charity name, but it was good crack. It was good crack.
Brilliant. And basically, the main thing is you had fun.
It was for the Stroke Association. Sorry, it was for the Stroke Association, and it was inspired by the recent problems that Jonty had on the fantasy football.
What was it like? What was it like meeting some of the stars of the site? If you know what I mean, I personally would find it quite surreal.
I'm used to it, because this is the 3rd tournament of Fantasy Football Scout that I'd attended. The first time I actually met Mark Southerns and famously took a picture with him. So it's a picture I'll cherish.
Can you? Are you able to share that photo in the Discord at some point, please, if you don't mind?
Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I will do. No problem, mate.
That's awesome. We've got Colin the Moonwalker. I know he's all the way from South America. We'll try and see if we can connect with him. Sometimes it can be a bit of a bad connection. So, Colin the Moonwalker, you are live on Elite FPL Radio, my friend. I think we could be having problems. We'll try it one more time, but Colin the Moonwalker, we're going to get you live on air. Colin the Moonwalker, you are live on Elite FPL Radio. No, he's not going to come on. No, it's going in and out, in and out, in and out. Let's go and see what specifically is going on in chat, because there is a hell of a lot of...
Hello?
Oh, you're back. Can you hear us, Colin?
Hello? I'm hearing you.
Yeah, you can hear us all okay?
Yeah, I'm hearing you guys okay.
Fantastic. So the main talking point this evening...
You're hearing me?
Yeah, we're all good, mate. Let's just have If you can hear me, Colin, can you make sure that the stream is turned off? I fear that you may be listening back on the stream. So if you make sure that the stream is muted, and then yes, Boona.
Sorry, no, I was just going to say I've got to jump off, dude. If that's all right with you.
It's not okay. You're going to stay to the yeah. Of course it is. It's fine. Thank you so much for joining.
Yeah. All right. No, thanks a lot for having me, pal. Speak to you. What time? Do you any idea what time you?
It's going to be another evening one. That's all I can comment on. I have no idea when though.
Okay. Get back forward.
Cheers, Boona. Thank you.
All right,
bye.
Cheers.
FPL Boona joining us there for the last couple of hours or so. Absolutely fantastic. I'm hoping everything seems to be all crashing around me. Surprise. But we will be going off air in a minute. I don't know why something has changed for on here. Is everything okay in the stream? I feel like everything seems to be crashing at the moment. Let me know in chat if everything seems to be fine at the moment. But yes, thank you to FPL Boona. Like I said, it's all happening at the moment. There is a hell of a lot of conversation going on in the chat. And like I said, I'm fully aware that we are at record viewing figures right now. Again, it's that classic thing of thank you so much for joining us live. Until this chat loads up, I can't. Basically, with the amount of traffic that's going on for the moment, it's going to take forever to get down to the bottom. But again, it's the classic thing of everybody seems to be chatting with each other, which is absolutely fantastic. Really, really enjoying it. Like I say, it's the classic thing of yes. Sorry, completely lost my track there. Like I said, the main bulk of this topic discussion tonight was about this team up in front of you. So for anybody tuning in right now and wondering what on earth that team is, simply put, this is what you guys have voted for as your elite FPL community team so far. These are the most popular players that you have chosen when you've been sending in the team. So basically, if you want to potentially change some of the players that you want to be seen in the polls, basically, then all you need to do is do a 15-man squad. The starting 11 has to be 4-4-2. It has to be a set and forget goalkeeper. And then what we'll do is that I collate all the data. We will then on Sunday evening, this upcoming Sunday basically, we will be doing a live stream and picking your team that will represent the Elite FPL podcast basically / your community for next season. And this is the team that's got the most popular picks so far that can fit within the £100 million budget. So for people on audio, again, it's Ryan in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Van Dijk, Laporte, Digne, Salah, Sterling, Tielemans, Fraser, and then up front with Wilson and Wesley. So yeah, all fun and games, so to speak. There doesn't seem to be anything. I think I'm probably going to call it a night, to be honest with you. Let's see if I can try and get some questions in there. Like I said, there seems to be a lot of chat, and do you know what? I think the easiest thing for me to do is to just call it an evening, if I'm honest with you. I think we've been going on for absolutely ages. I know this isn't quite record breaking, but I can't even see now how long we've been going on for at the moment, to be honest with you. There's a quick question there. Pope or Heaton? That really is a wait and see. I actually think that Tom Heaton may be given the opportunity to start, if I'm honest with you. I really, really do think. Wesley or Pereira, they're in two different positions, are they? Unless I'm going mad here. I can't answer that because they're in two different positions. That was Marlos Sali, something like that. Yeah, I've got FPL Little Saints in the chat, so we may as well bring FPL Little Saints into the stream. He's all the way from Greece. So yeah, FPL Little Saints, you're live on air. Welcome to the Elite FPL podcast, my friend. You need to unmute your mic, Jason. You know the
Evening,
drill.
Steve-O.
Good evening, Jason. Welcome to the stream. So yeah, like I've been saying, asking everybody, what are your thoughts on this 4-4-2 elite FPL community team so far that's received the most votes?
To be honest, I agree with most of it. There is a few things which I don't agree with. I don't know if you were looking at the chat really early on, but when you think about De Bruyne bringing in and downgrading a defender, I was pretty much against that. I don't putting in a fourth or maybe a fifth midfielder and downgrade a first defender. I don't agree with that. We've chosen, the community's chosen these 4 defenders. They're straight in. I think basically how it should go. And it's so be it if it means Tielemans or Perez. That's how it should.
I agree with you. I completely concur with that. Niall McGuinness, I'm sure it's Niall McGuinness here. He's asking a question for me, but I'll let you answer this. Do you think that picking a team early on and thinking and saying basically that is your final team is relatively a decent idea, or do you think that no, collate as much information as you can before basically the deadline on game week 1 and then finalise your team, or do you think no, you could probably do it like 2 weeks out?
Well, let's take this from the beginning. The first time I came on here, I was a big advocate for the 4-5-1 or 5-4-1, if you remember.
Yeah.
Since then, I've changed it quite a lot. Where, if you remember asking me how many drafts I've done, I told you maybe 5. If you remember. Now it's something like 500.
Yes.
So, especially with all this new information coming in, you have to tinker. You have to find out what it is, how it's going. See the pre-season games. Obviously, the Charity Shield, the Community Shield. What that happens, you never know. You might get an injury out of the blue, and you don't even know what to do. Even now, I've literally all through the stream that I've been listening to, I've changed my team so many times, and now I've changed it again.
Can I ask why you're changing it so many times just throughout this show alone? Is it just because there's just so much information being thrown at you? For example, with someone like Block FPL suggesting maybe having Delafeu just because of his opening 4 fixtures as an example.
Nah, not really because of that. It's just basically tinkering with my gut feeling and the strategy that I've kind of got myself. Meaning that you remember my strategy that I've already planned my game week 3 double change. So basically, I'm kind of trying to fit players in around this mold, around this strategy, but not necessarily players that other people have suggested. Okay, if you see my team now, which if I'm not mistaken, I've posted it. Yeah, I've posted it in the Discord. So I don't know if you want to bring that up.
Yeah, it's there. It's right in front of me.
The straight thing you will see is that bench.
Yes. Yeah, in Dunk, then Donker and Holler.
Yeah, they're all playing. They're all playing players.
Yes.
As soon as I put it up, I had a comment saying that's a lot of money on the bench. But as you might remember, I told you I'm a very, very big advocate for Hala. So I need him in come game week 2. So there wasn't a way to bring him in and do my double change strategy with Aubameyang and Fraser. So not only that, I've got the 3 players there which I could switch formations, whatever I want to do with the players I've already got. And my, let's say, punt risk, is Zaha, and actually either him staying at Crystal Palace or him going to Everton, because he's not coming to Arsenal no more.
What keeps him in your team?
It's basically if he goes to Everton, that's more appealing to me because they're basically a better attacking team than Crystal Palace. As in, if he was in Crystal Palace, it's just him. There isn't anyone that gets close to him. Maybe a Townsend here, there, somewhere, like every other 5 games, let's say. So for me, it'll be more appealing if he does go to Everton. Like I said, he's not coming to Arsenal anymore. So, and with that, I can't with the money I've got and with the team I've got, well, to get actually Sigurdsson in. So I'm hoping he does go to Everton. I prefer him to go to Everton. But I'm kind of happy with this team actually.
Yeah, I mean, number one, I've said this to you before. I like the fact you've got a plan. That's the key. You've got an actual plan to what you want to be doing. I was going to ask about the real life situation regarding your own team in Arsenal, and are you happy with this Pepe transfer?
Sorry, Steve, you kind of cut up there. Can you repeat that, please?
I was just saying, I'd rather talk about your real life team in Arsenal and this Pepe transfer.
Yeah. What is it? You obviously want my thoughts as an Arsenal fan, yeah?
Yeah. Yes.
So, okay, there's 2 ways to look at it. There's my heart and then there's my head. My heart is saying I am buzzing that he's coming. Because first of all, he's a baller. Second of all, that front 3 of Lacazette, Pepe, and Aubameyang. Oh my god, that actually for me that rivals Liverpool's. So, but my head is saying, like every other player, every other person is saying, is that with that money we could have shored up that defense immediately, which is the main problem.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. I completely agree. I think that I just find it ludicrous how it's almost like a joke, isn't it? That you need to get a solid defense. You don't need to worry about your attack yet. You just, not you personally, but the board or whoever decide to go and spend money on attack. It makes no. Do you just think that not just Emre but whoever has just more faith in your kids, the defenders, so to speak?
Well, if all my defenders were fit and I had everyone in, my centre at the moment as it stands, it would be Socrates and Holding. Because when at the beginning, before Holding got injured, we were quite good. When I say quite good, I mean we went on a 22 unbeaten run. So when it comes to that, and obviously Bellerin as well, before he got injured as well. So apart from, if I say I'm okay with that, but maybe what they're thinking is let's do a Liverpool. And what I mean by this is like Liverpool 2 years ago, when they were trying to outscore and win, like say every game 5-4. But by doing that, maybe that is the plan to actually spend the money for the defense next year after we get top 4.
Yeah, I completely understand that thought process. So, of this specific team here up in front of us now,
yeah,
you say you keep changing your player here and there, but which players are, no matter what, they're staying in your team come game week 1?
As it stands, as I'm looking at this team right now, the only 2 players that are staying, well, 3 players staying in my team is Trent, Sterling, and Perez.
3? They're the only 3 that are absolute, no matter what, staying in your team. Wow.
Yeah, these are the 3 that these are the mainstays. Everyone else is up for grabs.
Wow. I mean, obviously you got Wan-Bissaka. I mean, this Harry Maguire move must be inspiring you for that United defence.
Yeah, and I'm in 3 thoughts when it comes to United. Is it Wan-Bissaka do I go for? Do I go for Maguire, or do I actually go for De Gea? Because if we cancel out last season when Man United's defence was literally non-existent, Probably they were rivaling us at some point, basically. So, but the previous years, De Gea has always been the top keeper. I remember a specific game. When was it? I think it was 2 years ago now. The previous, not the season just gone, the previous one, when he literally made like 11 saves. He literally pulled down the curtains. He was a one-man saving machine. So he's not a bad keeper. He's just had a bad defense in front of him. Okay, he's done a few mistakes here and there, mainly with the Spain national team, but he's not a bad keeper. Let's get that right. For me, he's probably the best goalkeeper in the world.
Yeah, completely.
So that's basically my Man United dilemma, which I wasn't even thinking even before, just literally before I came onto the stream, because I was out all day. I haven't heard about this Maguire going through, if it does go through. So that's basically another wrench in the machine, saying, oh, okay, so if he goes to Man United, obviously Man United is going to be better defensively, so I've got to get the Man United defender.
I'm just going to keep you on air for just a bit. I'm going to try Colin the Moonwalker again, because like I said, he's trying to join us all the way from South America. I want to try and get him on. So Colin, hopefully you can hear us. You're joining myself and FPL Little Saints. Hello, Colin. Hello, Colin.
Hi. Hello.
Yeah. If you can, I know you can hear me, Colin. You need to turn or mute the stream, and then we'll be able to have a coherent conversation, because with the stream playing in the background, we're just going to have a constant echoing and back and forth for a random conversation. So if you turn the stream off, and we'll get you live back on air again. Here we go. Colin, welcome to the Elite FPL Radio, my friend.
He keeps going on and off.
Yeah, it's
a shame. Yeah, it's a big shame.
It is a shame, because we're literally getting callers like Colin from across the world, and it is such a difficult process of trying to get them on a live stream from, let's be honest here, a country like South America. I mean, let's try Colin. Let's give Colin one more chance. Colin, we'll give you one. Oh, he's gone. He's actually gone.
He's literally gone.
he's vanished into thin air. Yeah, what a shame. What an absolute...
Watch him pop back up right now.
Say that again.
And watch him just pop right out of the blue.
Yeah, he'll come back on. Yeah, the typical thing, really.
It's a shame though, because it's actually a beautiful thing, like getting callers from left, right, and centre all around the world. It's amazing, and this is what I love about the Discord and basically these live streams. We get to interact with someone you would never ever think about interacting with, but all because of the love of the game.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it amazing.
Have you? Well, we all say that now, but when it comes to game week 2, when for example, you've only got 23 points or whatever, and I'm storming up the league with about 70 odd, we're going to hate each other. You just know it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like you'd be about. I wouldn't want to talk to you for a week or so, until next game week.
Are you just of interest? Are you actually looking forward to this cash mini league that we set up, and the rivalry that's going to ensue?
I'm actually not in the cash mini league.
Oh, is there a reasoning for that, or you just personally don't want to participate?
To be honest, I prefer the banter. Obviously, if you're participating, the banter's going to be even more personal, let's say. But I don't know. I'm kind of taking the stance of being your referee for the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
But on a serious note, because I'm already in quite a few, it's kind of hard to keep track and everything. So if all goes well, I will be planning it for next year. But as I've already before I even I've only like I said, I've only come across you for like 2 weeks ago, three weeks ago.
It's crazy, isn't it? Because I'm fully aware that I've been streaming every single day and all that malarkey, but it doesn't, because we've been doing it so regular, it doesn't feel like it's been 3 weeks. It feels like it's been almost like a year now.
Yeah, well, I joined and I subscribed around the 300 mark, 400 mark, if I'm not mistaken. So within 2 weeks and stuff like that, it's like literally blown up. And so that's what, and this is it. It's like uh word of mouth to everyone else. Everyone's sharing it on Twitter and everything like that, and getting everyone involved. And not only that, what makes it even better is the actual Discord. It's like, and it's the community that are, let's say, in like they're good with each other. They won't knock you down. On they'll encourage you. So it's not like other communities which I've actually been a part of. So that's what I think that's the main attraction here. Obviously, going on like you can tell your mates, oh, you know what, I was live on YouTube last night. I'm famous all of a sudden, but no, it's the actual content and it's the discussions with other people and their ideas and why they're thinking of this and everything else. And obviously, you're gonna have your team's goggles on, like me, who Arsenal fan. It's like when I was hearing Bruno before, I was kind of like gritting my teeth. But it was valid points. Don't get me wrong, but when you're hearing it about your own team, you're kind of thinking twice or three times.
Yeah. We've got a couple of new faces in the waiting room. I'm going to bring FPL House. You've got your mic unmuted, so I'm going to deliberately bring you on live with myself and FPL Little Saints. You haven't posted any form of rate my team or whatever, so I'd be interested to hear what you've got to say. FPL House will bring you live on Elite FPL Radio right now. Make sure that the stream is unmuted. Here we go. FPL House, you are live on Elite FPL Radio.
Hello, hi.
Hello there. How can we help you, my friend? You've come in. You're live on YouTube as FPL Little Saints.
I'm from Malaysia. I'm from FPL House. Do you know about that?
I don't know. What is it?
No, I'm from Twitter. I'm following you and Boomer from FPL House. I'm from FPL House from Twitter. I know you guys. Currently, I'm watching you live from Malaysia.
Wow, Malaysia.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's absolutely absurd. How are you actually watching us? Is it through a phone, a laptop, an iPad?
Currently, I'm watching you from phones. Watching you live on YouTube currently.
And how did you find out about the Elite FPL podcast? And how long have you been with us for?
I think I've been with you guys nearly 2 months through Twitter. So yeah, I've been following
2
you
months.
guys. Yeah.
So, blimey, that would be almost the end of the season, so to speak. How did you come across us then?
Because in Malaysia, I'm quite we are quite organized for Fantasy Premier League, so I'm quite one of the hate in Malaysia about Fantasy Premier League. So I do scout people in Twitter who is giving a lot of sources on everything about Fantasy Premier League. So I found you and like Boomer, Fantasy Pundits, and a lot more. You know that.
What are your then thoughts on this Discord group?
Yeah, Discord group. Boomer to invite me here, so I'm like, okay, I would like to join you guys, and your ideas are keeping me well alert. With the fantasy world, it's so nice to see all you guys here. It's so pleasant.
So, I mean, I can't. I mean, there's no need to post anything, but it'd be interesting to hear what your current 11 is at the moment. So not the full 15, but what your current starting 11 is.
Okay. So far I didn't have my best 11 yet, but I already do do have some lineup. So far, I have Digne as my defensive line, Alexander Arnold, Laporte, and Aarons from Norwich.
Oh, really? Right, okay.
Yeah, yeah, because I was progressing and looking errands from last season, and he's been doing very well, even though he's young, and I think was a player of the year for the championship.
Hmm.
For yeah, so for 4.5 millions, that for me is a bargain as a fifth midfielder in your team. Plus, he's one of the guaranteed starter for Norwich. So yeah, I took him as my fifth midfielder so far.
Okay, and who is your midfield?
My midfield so far, I have Fraser, Sterling, Sigurdsson, and uh, so far is three. I'm playing 4-4-3. 4-3-3. Sorry.
Okay.
So
Who's
yeah,
the three strikers then?
my three strikers currently is Wilson, Aubameyang, and I'm going for who is his name again? Either King or Delafeu.
Wow. Wow, that's really
Yeah,
interesting. So we had a caller on earlier on about Sigurdsson and the fact that if Zaha does move to Everton, that actually Sigurdsson becomes an even more attractive option because of the fact that Zaha basically gets a load of penalties. Is this what makes you confident in
true.
Sigurdsson?
Yeah, but I was thinking one thing, if let's say Zaha is there, there would be a jeopardy in the Everton lineup. Like if let's say would it be a heavy rotation for Walcott, Bernard,
No,
or
no.
yeah,
I don't think so.
Richarlison maybe. Yeah, but for me in Zaha, he will be a new signing, so I can say 90 minutes will be there. But I scared if the play's been rotated. I mean, for his position, if let's say he's like a backup striker, I don't know, because for me, in my point of view, Everton don't have a target man up front. That is my point. Last time was Tosin, right? But currently people are looking at Calvert Lewin, but Calvert Lewin is more like a, in my point of view, it's like a cut in striker. Means like it would cut in and it would shoot. It's not like Harry Kane or Arnautovic. Means like a target man. That's why when you have a very good left and right winger who can produce you a good ball inside, but you don't have any target man inside unless they play false nine like Man City. But I don't know. We have to check out for now.
Little Saints, what are your thoughts on a Zaha at Everton and may actually
For me,
be a bit of a rotation?
in my point
No,
of view, yeah, okay, you can take Collins. Proceed.
I don't see, I don't see Everton splashing that kind of money and making him a rotation risk. That's ludicrous for me. So the question will be not if Zaha plays, is where he will play. So if it is on the wing, cool. If it's up front, maybe even better. I actually had Calvert Lewin in my team up to, say, how long will we be streaming for? 2 hours. Since 2 hours ago, I had Calvert Lewin in my team. So only because they don't have a striker, and he was going to play. I see him playing as the striker. But if they do bring someone in, even Zaha, if he does play, I see Zaha playing up front if he does go to Everton. To be honest.
Well,
Yeah,
you
true. I agree. Yeah.
no, you carry on, carry on.
I can't agree more with you. If let's say Zaha play up front, trust me, by 7 millions we have to get in him, because I think he will produce a lot of penalty chances and everything. And I just spoke to one of the referee that just came back from FIFA in Malaysia, and he said to me, with the new rules, if let's say this season Premier League will implement it, if let's say a team got taken a penalty, there will be no rebound. Means like if let's say the penalty is taken by, for example, Sigurdsson, right, and the keeper save and the ball means like rebound and the game is off straight away, goal kick. So I was thinking,
Oh,
if
Huh?
let's
really?
say, Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just spoke to one of the referee from Malaysia. He just came back from FIFA and he said this is one of the new rules. Then I'm like, wow. So I'm like, okay, because another rules that I've been seeing when I went to Singapore to watch Juventus versus Spurs back in the week when Hurricane score a sublime goals. So I'm like, and I saw something whereby goal kick keeper just put the ball and straight away can pass to your defense inside the box. So that
Yeah,
is
that I
another.
saw. That I saw. Yeah.
Yeah, and another one. What is surprising me is the penalty. So it will be no more rebounds unless
But how will they?
when. Yeah, again,
I don't.
sorry.
I don't understand how they'll. What's the word I'm looking for? How they'll
Implement it.
implement it? Yeah, because yeah, I don't understand. Like so, like you just said, whoever takes the penalty, Pickford saves it. It comes off his whatever. It rebounds out. What the referee's
Yeah.
just going to blow the whistle?
Yeah,
Uh,
basically
uh,
that's what he's
it,
saying. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
that is the question I asked to the referee, and the referee told me that okay, it's like this. If penalty been awarded, it's like a dead ball. It's like you are going for like a golden goal penalty or timeouts 120 minutes, then you have a penalty, right? So FIFA already implement this, so it will be implemented in Premier League.
We're
I'm like quite yeah, I'm like quite shocked at first because I was thinking my fantasy Premier League. I'm like, wow, no more rebounds. So
yeah, a
that
lot.
will
Just
whoa.
just to stop you there, FPL House. A lot of people in chat are saying it's not going to be implemented in the Premier League.
Oh, I
So
see. Because I just have a spoke with the referee here, and they said the first place will be implemented is in Europe. Usually, if I'm not mistaken, in Premier League. But I don't know if let's say not this season or what. I'm not sure. But FIFA already implement it. But I don't know whether it will be done as soon as possible or not. So that is one of the latest news. And another one. Sorry, I just one more. If let's say somebody been tackled inside a penalty box, they won't be a straight red card, either penalty or straight yellow card. Means like it unless it was a double tackle or nasty tackle, then they will get a roughly red card. Because I think FIFA just implement this. So I will study more in this.
Didn't we have this last year? The last rule that he just said.
Yeah, true. But they just improvise a little bit. So I'm not sure very much. I need to study more before I can apply this. I just passed some news to you guys. So I hope it helped.
Well, that penalty rule was a big. That just blew my mind. But that people are saying that it's not going to be implemented into the Premier League this year. Because I remember a few seasons ago when Rooney was still at Man United.
Yeah.
He missed the penalty basically. Well, they saved the penalty, and then someone else scored it. But not only did he didn't get points for the miss of the penalty, he got the assist for the penalty.
Yeah. I get you. I saw that game also, but I'm not sure with the new rules. So I hope if I don't know which league will be implemented first, then we can see. But based on the paperwork, yeah, it's already been done by FIFA. But I don't know whether it's gonna be implemented to the Premier League first this season or next season. I'm not sure about that.
So Little Saints, House has got here in his 4-3-3 this Max Aarons. Everybody kept banging on about Max Aarons as this the latest kind of fullback that's going to get you about 20 goals. What are your thoughts on this Aarons?
Everyone was raving about him right at the beginning of the transfer window and at the beginning of the season. Lately, I have not been seeing him in any teams. Maybe because of they haven't got the best of starts, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
That's
I think
correct.
they've got quite a bad start. So maybe they're not trusting him that much as a newly promoted team coming up. Same with Doherty last year. A bit of a while for people to jump onto Doherty. And then he spiked when the price rises and everything like that. So maybe it's because of that.
True. I can't agree more.
That's a yeah. So he's got Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City in his first 5 games.
Yeah.
and then in between that, he's got Wolves away on game week 4. Who's that?
No,
Game
West
week 2?
Ham. It's West Ham, so it's Newcastle at home, West Ham away, in between Liverpool and Chelsea and Man
Oh, it's
City.
West Ham. Sorry.
Yeah, and then he's got some decent fixtures: Burnley away, Crystal Palace away, Aston Villa at home, Bournemouth away. So maybe in that block there. But I wanted to. Aubameyang seems to be a really popular pick. Is this giving you some high hopes for next season, Little Saints, regarding Aubameyang, and people seem to be keeping faith in the fact that he'll keep up his goal-scoring returns? I mean, he's a world-class striker at the end of the day.
I actually think it's because of pre-season. Because before our pre-season started, there wasn't many people talking about Aubameyang, even though he was a joint top goal scorer. But after pre-season, even yesterday when we lost to Lyon, he scored his work again. So he's got 2 goals now in pre-season. He's been working, although not the main focal point, because that's Lacazette. But even last year, he wasn't playing most of the time focal point. He was all like on the wings most of the time. So well, at least for the first 2 games, that's why I've got him in my team. Obviously, game week 3 away to Liverpool at Anfield. Although he did score last year, but we did get battered. So maybe after that again, which maybe. But for those first 2 games, and with what everyone's saying about Salah, obviously in the AFCON he wasn't that great. He hasn't come back yet. He hasn't basically kicked the ball or done any runs yet, basically training. So I understand Firmino, Mane, and Salah. So one of them's got to start. At least one of them's got to start.
Can I just butt in? I really feel like I have to butt in here. I'm sorry, Steve-O, but I don't think you've noticed it because you're not aware. But for those of you who don't know, we got YouTube partnered a couple of days ago, and one of the features that we've now got on the stream is super chat, and FPL Boone has actually decided to give us a super chat and donate £10. It's our first ever donation on the show.
Blimey!
And
wow!
he said, "Love everything you do, guys. Love everything you guys have done with this channel. Such as an amazing community growing. I'm so happy to be part of it. Well done, guys. Keep up the marathon man, Steve-O, and King of Tech Graphics, Jay." Boone, thank you ever so much for that. You guys, have shown us so much support over the last few months, and wow, just we need to find a way of making it so that Steve-O can see these. But yeah, thank you so much.
Well, there we are. Jason just cutting in. I'm sure FPL House and Little Saints appreciate Jason cutting in there. I can only apologise. I'm so engrossed in the conversation here that I'm not even looking at the chat. So I can only apologise. But again, thank you, Boona, for the for that wonderful donation. You really didn't have to do that, but thank you so much. What were you guys talking about? It was Aubameyang, wasn't it?
Yeah. First of all, I'd like to appreciate Bruno for all his work he's been doing on the channel as well and everything, and in Discord. But yeah, Aubameyang. Basically, he will be thereabouts. The thing is, with Aubameyang, he can go missing for 2, maybe 3 games, but that 4th game he will be explosive. Get the hat trick or what? Maybe assist or 2. He's not in the category. When I say explosive, obviously the explosive players are Salah, Kane on his day, and Aguero. Sterling, okay, he kind of done it last year. Let's say on many occasions last year. Let's not get it twisted. But when I say explosive, I mean the triple captain candidates. Let's say Aubameyang, you could put it on him, but you're scared of it. Although if it's Salah, even game week 1 against Norwich, I've seen a few drafts with triple captain armband on it. So these are the players that you want. Obviously, they're the premiums as well. So I'm excited with Aubameyang being thereabouts. But the thing is with Aubameyang, you have to have him in during those spells.
Just a couple of quick points. So, Well Lad is asking, are you not worried that Aubameyang may be playing on the wing like he's playing in pre-season, which may affect his goal chances? That was Well Lad that asked that. And One Life Soccer is asking, who then are you going to be captaining in game week 2?
Me, game week 2.
Yeah, the fact that Arsenal are playing Burnley, but it's a lunchtime kickoff. That's what's putting me off.
I don't get carried away with Friday nights or early kickoff Saturdays. My captain's my captain. That's if I believe he's going to do it, he's going to do it. I'm not a person who, although doesn't really go much by past results or previous years, unlike you, Steve-O. But I'll go with my gut mostly on my captains. It's like I believe he's going to do it. Yeah, I don't know if he's on the high from I don't know. Sterling is on the high from a 3-0 hat trick from the Champions League or whatnot. I'll go with my gut more or less. Or if I can't really decide, I'll kind of go what the community is going to go, so I can minimize kind of my losses. Let's say. So game week 2 most likely will be Aubameyang. Because obviously Sterling's game week 2's got Spurs, so it'll be probably Aubameyang first 2 game weeks be my captain.
FPL House, before we let you go, have you got any final thoughts before you before you leave?
Final thoughts in what question?
I was just wondering if you got any final thoughts for the community before we let you go.
Oh, I see. Final thoughts. Okay. All right. Actually, why I put Aubameyang in my squad? Actually, I just trying to balance everything. Actually, what can I say? Aaron's. Yeah, Aaron's is not my fourth midfielder. Defender. It was my fifth. My fourth will be Arnold and Robertson. Actually. So yeah.
Right.
So if I say yeah. So Aaron as just I can say as a backup. And why I take Aubameyang first in my lineup because I'm trying to save. Two free transfers. So I'm tempting to go with Chelsea striker, but I don't know which one it will start. So I'm just keeping my 2 free transfer because of game week 3. So if let's say game week 3, Arsenal will playing Liverpool, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Anfield.
Yes.
Yeah, so game week 3, I can see first game week Chelsea versus Man United. I can see which striker will be a regular one, but I'm tempting to go with either Batshuayi or Tammy Abraham because I can see they're like a very very good upfront, for Chelsea. But I cannot say it much because it's not proven yet on Premier League in Chelsea side with Lampard, right? So currently just waiting and waiting. So let's see what happens, for now.
FPL House, thank you joining us all the way from Malaysia. Thank you so much for joining in.
Just before you let him go, Steve-O, just wanted to say that Malaysia is actually one of the places for my bucket list that I want to go on holiday. So hopefully I get to meet up.
Come on, guys. If you drop by in Malaysia, just let me know, guys. I can just, bring you around. Maybe we could have some drinks and talk about Premier League. Come on, guys.
That would be great, yeah.
Awesome. There we are. Little FPL House there, joining us all the way from Malaysia. As long as there's cake involved, I will be more than happy to join in. I'm not really interested in the drinking.
We can make him into little ones so you can just like bite size.
Yeah. Someone's asking, well, DC is asking, Steve-O, should I go 3 Burnley defenders or only 2? I don't think you should go with any, to be honest with you, but if I was to go with any, it would be, if it's an absolute must, 2, an absolute push, but I would avoid Burnley like the plague, to be honest with you. But I said that during our best season in the Premier League. I just completely didn't get on any of their players until Nick Pope, until like the last... a few game weeks really, but yes. Any thoughts on Burnley before?
That's what I was going to say, Steve. If you're going to actually go for a Burnley player, obviously he's going to be in defence. But wouldn't you rather?
I'd rather go with Jay Rodriguez. I think that for a punt, if you're going to go for a cheap player in the game as a strike role. Jay Rodriguez, I think, is basically. I think Dyche is going to be playing Jay Rodriguez based on pre-season, and
who would stay out?
Woods.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think that. I don't think Dyche thinks that Wood puts in a shift, and I think that Jay Rodriguez is more of that Barnes kind of style player that Dyche wants. Really put a foot in and work for the team, and for 6 million. I think potentially, and he's got very, very good pedigree, Jay Rodriguez as well. I find it ironic though that he's got the West Bromwich shirt on when they weren't even in the Premier League last year. But I mean, looking at just over his seasons in the Premier League, you're talking injury hit as well.
Yeah.
Back with us, he scored 15 goals. Oh no, that was with Southampton. Sorry. With Southampton, he got 15 goals and 3 assists.
That was his first season, yeah?
Yeah. Actually, that may have been with us. Yeah, that must have been with us. And then when he joined... I can't even think now. That must have been with Southampton, surely.
Yeah, Southampton. I remember a season where he just went bonkers with.
That's right. Yeah.
That's Southampton. But that's what I'm saying. As I can see from what you've got up there, is that 7-9?
1.
Is that a 1?
Yeah, 7 and a 1. Yeah, 7 goals, 1 assist.
I mean, no. The goals, the goals going downwards.
Sorry, what we're looking at here? It's
his history.
Yeah, 7 goals scored and 1 assist in the 2017-18 season. Yeah,
so I think that Woods and Barnes, they were quite deadly last year. It was basically them two kept you up. Let's say.
Yes.
So why? I think you would be more of a backup. I don't think you would straight away take one of those strikers out. Because last year I had on separate occasions, obviously, I had Barnes and Woods, and they did good for me.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what. Like you said that like Jay Rodriguez would be the one putting in the shift, and Woods basically doesn't, but he scores. So basically, what do you compromise? Your goals, or basically someone tracking back?
Dyche will take tracking back over goals any time of the season based on what my dad says. He watches every single game, and he basically tells me that the second Burnley get to the halfway line, they don't move forward, they move backwards. Says it all, really. But basically, for anybody that was wanting to look at Burnley, I honestly would just avoid like the plague until really they are the classic team of if they start off bad, you will not get anything from them for about 6 months. If they start off decent, then just jump on them because you're guaranteed to get something from their players, whether it's clean sheets or goals. They really are. We really are a hit and miss team. And like I said, you'll be able to find out on game week 1 when we play Southampton, because if we do not beat Southampton, if we lose to Southampton, we're in for a tough start to the season. If we get a draw or win, then I think maybe jump on it, and then you'll be able to find out also who is going to start for Burnley as well in goal. Anyway, DC making a point. So basically, for anybody that's watching this stream right now, if you haven't hit that like button, please just hit it. You've clearly stayed with me for flaming 3 hours 12 minutes. You're clearly enjoying what you're saying. Just simply hit that like button. It just tells YouTube that this is a good stream, basically. But the point being is to just show your support, really. Just hit that like button, and away we go with that. Anybody new that's watching this stream, just hit that subscribe button and the notification button. Steve-O, what are your thoughts on captaining Sterling every game week? Do you think he'll get around? I reckon he'll get about 250 points again, maybe more, rather than a gamble on alternatives. Little Saints, what do you think on captaining Sterling every single week?
That's one way to go. Basically, well, if that might be the thought about it, then why are we even thinking about other premiums?
Yeah. Well,
it's not a bad shout, to be honest. It's like everyone at some point, like everyone during last season, everyone was going off Salah, but he still ended up as the top points scorer in the game. So could you imagine having your captain on Salah all through the year?
And that's the thing about this game, isn't it? It's you get to transfer in and out, and these points that are accumulated are across the whole season, and usually these points are accumulated within like a small bracket of games. So Sterling, for example, will get like, I don't know, four attacking returns out of 6 game weeks. Then he made blank for 3 or 4. At which point you've got to work out: do you sell him at that point, and then when do you bring him back in to get him back on getting returns again? It's a very tough decision, but it's risky. It's very risky.
It is risky, but obviously they're premium for a reason. Unfortunately, let's say Kane last year, he got injured. Well, he's had the last 2 seasons he's been kind of injured, let's say. But so you could basically, let's like not involve Kane at the moment, but even Aubameyang or even Aguero, if you captain them all through the season, you still would have got a really decent amount of scores. So, and not only that, the typically when they do get the big scores, it's basically when you get knocked out of the FPL Cup.
Yes. Yeah. I'm gonna bring on our final caller of the evening. It's Adam Olive. So Adam Olive, please unmute your mic. Make sure the stream's turned off. You've just posted your Rate My Team into the Discord. So Adam Olive, you are live on Elite FPL Radio. Hello there. Oh, he's gone. Brilliant. He's vanished. I think Little Saints, I'm going to end it there, my friend. Thank you for joining me for the last 30 minutes or so. Probably longer, actually. But
it was my pleasure. It was my pleasure, Steve-O.
Cheers,
See you tomorrow.
Yeah. See you tomorrow. Take it easy.
Good night, everyone.
There's FPL Little Saints joining us all the way from Cyprus there. Yeah, I think I'm going to call it a night. I think there's not much I can really add, to be honest with you. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. That's what I can say, really. This is this has been a very, very long stream. In fact, I think we could be getting on. I think we could be going on for a record here. But yeah, I think I'm going to call it a night, as Little Saints just said then. It's all tomorrow, or going to be happening tomorrow. I don't know when we're actually going to be going live on air, and don't quote me on this, but there's a chance that it could be me and Jason, or, again, don't quote me on this, it could be myself, Jason and Dan. Yes. Again, don't quote me on that, but it's definitely going to be me, no matter what. Like I said, I kept the promise. I said that I'd go every day while I'm on holiday, up until basically the last stream will be Thursday. And then I can actually have a break for 2 days on a Friday and Saturday. And then me and Jason and possibly Dan will be back on Sunday to choose this Elite FPL community team for you guys, basically. It's going to be a lot of fun. Someone did ask the question earlier on. I'm sure it was Niall. Earlier on about choosing this Elite FPL team so early. Well, this is the thing, you see. This is why we're doing it early, because we can get the main bulk of the team together. And simply put, we can then do some voting in the polls to find out, just to finalise some little small details. But I think that the majority of the team that's up on screen at the moment, when I bring it up, oh no, I got out of it, didn't I? Because I was an idiot. Yeah, my mistake. It's a late night. You get the idea. Yeah, let's call it a night. Let's just end it there right now. So, as ever, here's the admin bit. So you may as well all go home now, and because this is the boring bit. Usual thing. If you've enjoyed the stream, please just hit that like button. If you enjoy what you're seeing and you're completely brand new to the show, hit that subscribe button. It's only going to get better and better and better throughout the season. Hit the notification button, because obviously that will tell you when we are going live. Also, get involved in that Discord group. You've heard several people discussing what's so good about the Discord group. People like, FPL House, coming all the way from Malaysia, telling about what he's profiting from the Discord group as an example. It's a great community. We've got great guys in there that will be more than happy to guide you through the Discord group. Daily Llama and FPL Boon are the two moderators in there, but there are a lot more regulars in there that will be more than happy to guide you around what to talk about. The Rate My Team section is very, very, very popular, as you can imagine. Just a quick one. If you are wanting to submit an Elite FPL community team, just for me to get some more data really about who the more popular picks are that you're choosing, like I said, I'm writing it all down there. There you are, Daily Llama. There you are, John Harris. The book's out. One more time, the final time in fact. Just get it in the Rate My Team section. It's got to be a 4-4-2 formation. It has to be a set and forget goalkeeper, and then basically you just choose the players that you feel that should represent the Elite FPL community. But like I said, the team was up on screen earlier, and there we are, done and dusted. Thank you, Lee Brunt there. I appreciate the kind words, and I appreciate all the kind words from over there. And one final shout as well to FPL Boona for donating £10 to us. You really didn't have to do that, and for me personally, when people give gifts, I'm not very good with giving gifts because I just never know what to say really. I just cannot thank the individual for just taking their time out just to give us a gift. I think it's absolutely amazing, to be honest with you. I never in a million years thought I'd, well, not just me, but Dan and Jason as well, be talking to a laptop to quite literally hundreds of people across the world talking fantasy football and taking the time out to listen to me over the last few weeks. It's been absolutely absurd, and it's been absolutely great. I'm telling you now, these streams, they don't feel like 3 hours. I mean, this has been going on for 3 hours 20 minutes. It's felt like 20 minutes basically. Right, I'm done. Oh, by the way, I'm going to try this, Jason, for 1 second. This is an exclusive. So this is an exclusive to everybody that's still watching. Right? Don't panic. Don't worry. Nothing's happening. Yeah? Yeah? What do you think of that? So this is real bonus material now. So basically, if I require, let's just say a toilet break, then I can hit, I'll do it again, but I'm going to keep the microphone on. I can do this, and as you can see on screen now, simply put on the right hand side, the chat's still there. And I came up with this idea for Jason the other day, and when Jason came back up with me and just did his old, he did the old wink, and he said, "It's interesting you mentioned this, Steve, because I've actually already got something in the bag already." So simply put, I mentioned this idea. Jason put this together, and yeah, that's what he did, and I couldn't believe it. And what we're going to be hopefully doing in the near future, again, I'll just bring it up, is on this screen here, it won't be saying that anymore. We're hoping to have a advertiser there, maybe. You never know. Tap Sport. I know Jason's going to be speaking to the owner of that. Maybe we could have a Tap Sport advertiser there. Who knows? The future of Elite advertising. Yeah, it's all Jason's work there. I just come up with the ideas, and he goes through with it, basically. So, yeah, there was some exclusive content there for people that have been staying with me for this long. Right. I'm hitting the button in a 3, a 2. Good night, everybody.